Next 100.9 FM Sini. Na ene Friday, February 6, 2026. And the time just about gone 25 minutes past 1. Ene fiada na ojifobo sumena ewomi ne da etoso ensia. Afi empenu aduonu ensia. Amsa abodon kwa pa ho meti aduonu enum. Me man ti dwumadi ade bre mo me amedi ho chia me afra me ADAKABRI Mahmudu Osioma. Ai na ene production ni nyina sipanyi ko joda me adone na aso. Na Majero Sajimai. Ene na nantwi na ebo na chidom. Technical production abna frima bankro. Ana ono so isini na aso. Na fe so various social media handles. Ono ankasa ehwa ama ni nyina timi akọ. Ede amayene. Ansa ene de aseda ama engineering team no achu agbo. Worker. Etiako na jare na na boaje na adasan kroma. Esare mrani de nya ase. Sempro. Na facilities team no Big Solo and a Dada na Godfred. Ai the friend Ubrana. Afi Yaw, Mapuna, DJ Bosco. A Melson so asare mrani say tete and 7 na eda honum. Enefie na yenhwe se nsem bia ekoso no se bia wo a wonia wote ase no na watimi akire yen watimi akire ko hunu se enne single digit inflation ewo hoyi akoye asempapa say ye was single digit inflation na fe ubusa ho se single digit inflation no emfasode ben mpo ene wo se sa time no ekire ewo odasani ubotom na ye de ehunu wie se nipa ni bi ekeka se ai UTAC ese omonte ye ho ase ye twimomome CTAC ese omonte ye ho ase ye twimomome TUSAC ese yente ye ho ase ye twimomome JUSAC ese yente ye ho ase omutwimomome security services allowance no arrears wo mu ana nurses salary arrears ebi wo mu ana teacher for salary arrears ebi wo mu ana oku akuafo ne yentimi ntua okoko ka ana inflation single digit under 4% and afi nsusu no interest rate so aba from na fe nsusu dollar no ensusu aba from against the city into busa say dollar aba from interest rate also aba from na inflation single digit diesel yatete so a afi de na ese de yenya sika ntuatua ye ho akai ene asemo a ye betena se na yetimi adwendwene ho but for now dear obetimi a WhatsApp yen on 050 600 0909 050 600 0909 yehwe democrat ahodo na anopa ba ye no animu nsem ni bi na ehunu ba bia de efufuo beko a ye de beko akobo Daily Gist and what a very beautiful photo of Dr. Muhammad Bawumia and a Professor Paul Collier of the Oxford University. What the photo no to say no say Bawumia storms UK after the landslide victory. 56% in a landslide and what the other one. Ayade. Now upon Kroma questions 3.8 inflation rate. I could go upon Kroma and Ubusa say, inflation at 3.8%. A floor ceiling cry. There's a form cry never quack. Now, young one. The new weekend crusading guide. Weekend crusading guide was saying, despite its backsliding in West Africa, Ghana would prove democracy works. President Mahama and an New York Dubai and in 70 being over can say Ghana de yɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ dodo amamuo no adwuma papa and nti over 2,000 people received rent support. Works and Housing Minister Kenneth Gilbert J. Works and Housing Minister and what I say nipa bes and pimienu and yedan akatia yetimi nya amoa ema yedi etuaye na enu akire no the insight ana ono so ede baaye na osi KOD Japs Baumia says MPP's economic record will haunt him in 2028. Lawyer and broadcaster Kwame Osudanso, your friend KOD, and also Dr. Mama de Baumia, and they obey a Ghana man penino, said they will see Fatoton and Normano, and I watch as a Ninano, obey idea, a behunano. When you're baby, you know, by Ghana man penina. Omapia Ghanaian Chronicle, Anna or the Baye. Was it opinion marking yells? Mahama's government has betrayed Voltarians over attempt to rename Kotoka Airport. Na aye Kwame na opinion marking, and all can say, John Dramani Mahama buying, say, and Accra International Airport. Say, Yadi Kotoka din toso, na omadi bill like parliament. Say ye Kotoka din ne free so, na yaya na Accra Airport no. Wasini nyina no, akoye say, nipa na wafra neja, na aye Mahama, wotwa wo moja. Na pay cocoa farmers now. Osi pay cocoa farmers now. Edom kuma na wa Ghana man hwebe dwam. Ana woni ka say cocoa akuafo a yaka nsensemem na aban ni ntimi ntua ye cocoa a yato no na wo kan say yentua wonka. Osi research agenda must prioritize Ghana-led value addition. Jumo Sapon. Nana Jumo Sapon and Titi, Friends of River Bodies. Oba can say, see Ghana ye to try any year, dear. And na Ghana for yen ma yen sa no and fan you maybe nemfa a boa and meka ye no mana ye yin haseno na ye diaba. Delegate a quantra for no. And also MPs clash over 24-hour economy authority bill. Adongo any Stephen Amwa stika and sharply divided over your friends and bill your dear say 24-hour economy authority bill. A munsam edaho. Na Samuel Abuji na podi was say 24-hour economy no speaker any first deputy any second deputy a hopper and no who 24-hour na yejuma. And no actually no can say MPP VIP talks premature. Samuel Abu Jinapo things and all can say and they Dr. Mama de Baumia ya to abama na no mimni de ya echina mponi na awotwe anything nipa bia sha na we na be na be de akire we na be na be de akire osi ni nyina no ade a papa tanya de wo se yesoso osi NIB questions ex NIB boss over scholarship for sale claims. Kofi for soon cancer. Opof and ono wo be cancer bi say nei. Bakwasa for J scholarship secretariat to ye tonton scholarship no e de e man crofo no ko onimo bi ye ton bi de ma no ye cancer. And say Calustus Mahama PhD. Or the secretary to the president. Ono etintim krata e ka kire NIB National Investigations Bureau. Say one in hwehwem within 24 hours nemfa muayemra emema Ghana mampanyini hunu tampa ye tonton scholarship na no ana wane ton sa omode frɛ kwaku ofosu ama ono so ko kofi ofosu ono so ko ya de wonim no akoka de akire wo mo. Court slashes Agrada 15-year jail term to 12 months. Patricia Asiedua dodo no afrɛ no Nana Agrada na ensensem bia esore yema ekokodi mra asemdimia ma judge tena so judge ne hwe asem ne se de ne sitie no ana obu aye se eye Patricia Sidua odifo nti wonko kukum mfinhia dunum na no ana yedimu no ana fedi yasan de na ba amasamai high court na no ana high court judge ne beka say oh mfinhia dunum no na esede na ano ode ne dodo eni nti wote so de ba afi agrada asoso no wadamu semfie bosome senwotwenie enti judge ne chete osese de a aka aye bosome 9 na Patricia Asidua na waba amiyama no atadwe amana kare say atadwe asiama atedenne na asiama asemo kan ya ne say wamie na no enka bibia kom no waye na emu asiama singlet o share no ana ya tro singlet nanim say pray every day bompa ye da nyina ana asiama oyi eye ne kokoso kwani enu ayi na moto amu de enso so na moto emu ayetum ene say odi singlet tuntum na bompa ye da nyina ana asiama amma ne nsa so sei ana odi kire agrada bosome 9 tem na yesan na betena amana bompa ye ede akiro bia emponyini pepepe ana daily guide ede atowo ede ama agrada the news center ana ono nso so na se mo de ba ya ne say Kevin Ochre Foundation supports 37 military hospital patients. I am Margaret Ochre. Ne ba Kevin aye Ochre. Adwa enua Kevin. Oyoko contractors. Nana ne ba Kevin Ochre. Ane ne Springfield. Onya bie no wankaso no nko abefa. Ane say Kevin wakwa 37 military hospital. Akwa bua wane a ye hia mo a obetimi aboa wo mo no ano Kevin adisa adwuma no eninti mampontene fuoi asem eda ho no the Ghanaian point ana ode ebaaye as the cocoa farmers are not beggars, pay them now. And minority for omusi cocoa akuafo nyesa bi asresere no omusre say adwumaden no maye ana omu breso fasode ana hia say yede ma wo mo enti yentua cocoa farmers no cocoa akuafo no yentia wo mo ka. The informer ena odebaaye osi Gabi applauds Afenyomakin minority for holding government accountable. Aye Gabriel Nanaya Ochredako na ono oka bie diafo so the Alexander Kwame na Afenyomakin minority leader wayebi that aban womu kan yesu ma aban ne ye de seso ye enunti yemmo aye Alexander Kwame na Afenyomakin abaso. Government's planned airport renames past controversy. And or say, and aban ye na dwene say, Accra airport no, dini Kotoka International Airport wo ye so ya no, Accra International Airport no. And no say kasatentene bi aba ho. President Mahama to introduce bill to regulate sale and lease of public property. And ni nyina say Ghana mampanyini ose amfa mramra kwane e befa so a se bibi ya ban dia kwane e befa so e beton ana kwane e befa so a ye be lease mpo ana oka ho asem sa ana ose MPA chief executive touts authorities discipline regulatory regimen at 2026 Nigeria International Energy Summit aye aduji lawyer ana woye National Petroleum Authority womo epanyini ane se oka ensembi said almost yafa omaye no the overseer or say revival of Tema oil refinery reduces petroleum cost, boosts Ghana's economy and odeba say and nadie Tema oil refinery yes and diabano a man ne de petrol hunka any Ghana economy that's a pejabim na odiaba Amina Adams likely to beat Baba Jama in NDC Ayawaso East race. Enipa 9 NDC ye pre. Se nipa num ene ye pre se beko Ayawaso East. Na no ana obayi a na ne kunu ye mrahwe bedwani na ne kunu no efri mu no. Saa wo ba no yes oso obekompo na oye kuna enu nti nanka enhyehyɛ no se ense so osi abontene ba busumi nsia de nanka wo hyedem na nso NDC fo ye ne se ye kwa akototo wo mo a epe aye akonwa no ano nanu ene obai dia desrede ko ye se enkampo yehwe mesum mu nhyehyɛ a ense se mesi abontene edi nka moma me nhye dem na nka yenye ne se de yato ne dipoto kasam virtual na yefa computer ene me ne mu nidi nkomo ndc fu ampene ama obai esore ede yeden ede koi na no na global info analytics omo mu hwe mu a oba no ebedi nkonim na baba jama na oto aso a ono so no obetimi aba daily graphic ana ono so work can say daily graphic assembly awa or say president moves to stop asset looting shift power from executive to parliament the Ghana man panyini or yen say kwani e be fa so nipa bi emfa ne ntonton eye o manager pade extra akwa no ene enkonko ye say eye mrasho eye president natena ye ene be hwa atoto be mu be ye mrasho bedwom ene be ye mra ahyehye ne de di ho dwuma eno ena Ghana man panyini working nation secures trade lifeline with US agua renewal eye agua ema kwan ma America fo na ye no ma bi e Ghana have free trade free zones near the America create me koton e ba say wu ye ne renew enei ese de yetimi anya kwanya bi a wode Elizabeth Ejare Ofosu trade minister in phone na to say and o say Ghana ye nya kwanya say e betimi aye no ma bi wa ha na ya sign de akoton no America ho abra agua no ya yeden yetimi assign a renew. Bank of Ghana rules out GN bank license restoration and all can say Bank of Ghana for John Dramani Mahama Ghana mampanyini oko campaign no papa kwesi indom ade kwato nanim se wonhwe no oba nanka GN bank kwane afa so a yade ma GN bank twam no nanka ontimi emanemra ne kasa mu oni mu aye ode ma ne de ne chese anya no a oba ya ode license ne beba ane se nei Bank of Ghana be kase papa kwesi indom GN bank no enya de a yebe ne de yebe ne a yebe san amana babiem na no ana ene yeba bedi enkomo ede afa ensama ekoso single digit inflation lower inflation single digit any interest rate above from any sidina again over the dollar notwithstanding as a government spending at the same from other arrest any of this strike actions ebe ha abano ni nyina no ene nkomoni bia ye be hwa hye bi kuzina tie need 100.9 FM na yehunu de yeye
ninie enwoma beto tode ame baba no ho ade no hwem so betumi a asew na obeka ya jontuma miensa duku portmanteau this way chocolate drink na kan wo hwe afibia so be renew aware ne a this way chocolate drink na kan sia asew udan kawanu ntumu ho me be mo anu nsu hye kura de aka ho wo de wapi ho o ka sa batete edafom ho
this way chocolate drink
kra cha be pe baba aware
asew
ye fia say this way chocolate drink ya sori anopa no ne ye be chef fridge nom no se snack ye nya hoho a no ye de serve wo mo ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a this way chocolate drink ne ye nom and this way no ti ano a he se kire wom koko wom brick wom bibia wom ade wo hia ne so hye
this way chocolate drink
de wo hia ani so hye
FDA ahwehwe se adwede nkrato emu agye atum se eye
cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, catch it. List ni nie. And you ma beto to dia me baba no ho ade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, asew. Hey, now beka. Ya John to ma me ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afi bia so beri ni waware ne a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Oh, asew. Wo den kan no ntumu ho. Me be mo anu nsu hye kura de aka ho. Wo hwe de wepi ho. O ka sa batete e da fom ho.
This way chocolate drink.
Crash up pay baba ware.
Asew.
Ye fi say this way chocolate drink ya sorry anopa no ne yenom. Ye be hye fridge nom no se snack. Ye nya hoho a no ne de serve wo mo. Ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink ne yenom. And this way no ti ano a, he se kire wom, koko wom, brick wom, bibia wom, ade wo hia ne so hye.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so hye.
FDA ahwehwe se adwodie nkratoe mu agye atum se eye.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Neat 100.9 FM suni. Enti ya din sam no eto ho. En sam da hon mo na wase single digit inflation, lower interest rate, CD gains against the dollar, petrol selling at reduced rate. Notwithstanding, citizens appear not to appreciate as strike actions appear in the offing. So, and single digit inflation and ya recording under 4%. Lower interest rates and ekojibo siakrana so aba form petrol so and yatete sway and cedi no so and again against the dollar. Now so as a strike bebrebe yatete na oyasum and they say kokwa akuafo yenya sikentua wo moka ni nyina no ubusa say adien na sa single digit no low interest rate no cedi gaining and petrol ntiso no adia pa na eye ewo ye botom ya badwendwene ho na ose bill to rename airport sparks controversy. Bill to rename airport sparks controversy. Say abani yes say Kotoka airport na yes sana ye na Accra airport na ayeka satentene na emu na chronicle can say afenyo marking yells Mohammed's government has betrayed Votarians, an attempt to rename Kotoka airport and what can say right na yenhwe enne chronicle Bible quotation wade ma ya wade bo mpae yentie na ababen ye fa wo na ntwe me watena se
yaja akra
obade ya da roma me ho ye wawurade mu na ntwe won so ho te san
me so me gina me na so pa
ya danten this year and can you krom this year
yes Zion City no
you
say hona 2020 awurade ba be si na wafa ne manfo nyina continue
eno ne kan ya bebrebe no
ai
eh
yesu ya kan ya ntino
yesu ya kan ya eno san ya honhom
sa
yesu ya honhom no san ya kan ya ana obepie e wa danten asase so sa Zion City eno ne kan ya bebrebe no sa oh me papa bi and ofre danten o san free bomfa lawyer Poku Boating ana wo ne ba fefe friends Joyce Poku Boating Joyce Poku Boating na nantu
ni ogina so pa oso wa
Joyce Poku Boating na nantu
ye ma me no
lawyer papa na oye ni papa na chronicle quotation was saying Psalm 41:9 Sentia Walker Psalm 41:9 was it even my close friend in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. Was it even my close friend in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. Asembe na wo ho. Woka no eya kankasa mu a. That's Psalm 49. Psalm 41 verse 9 no. Kinka mi enti.
Ene yen hwei se ne atwero no so e kan wo. David nyom number no ye aduanan baako. Nchichemu a ye nkono no. Ose madam for papo a mede me ho to ne so no. A odi maduan bi no. Wa mani nanti so atia me. Awurade humi mabo na ma me so na mintua won so ka.
Hey. Kase ne no. Wo mo da fom. Ya di amia. Ya kan sensem na ye nhunu ye ho ano no. Wo mo na David enwom no. Wo ka wasesen.
Ose David nyom no ma aduanan baako nchichemu a ye nkono no. Ose madam for papo a mede me ho to ne so no. A odi maduan bi no. Wa mani nanti so atia me. Oh Awurade humi mobo na mintua won so ka.
Hey. Enti se wudi amia na ko wie se. Wadam for papa.
Ojini die pa.
Ojini die.
A odi waduan no ne tena apono ho.
Woni ne tena apono ho didi. Ana wono wo hyase ama ya yosi akra na ko peso aka de.
Opeso o kire se ebia onyonko ane ne ko nakranda. So ho. Ebia onamfofo apamfo a no mu nyina twahia de bia no. Omo asa afa kwati kwa bi so akwakire ho. Akonwono wase. Asole atia wo. Ena nso no mo ko nakranda ono mo na mo amoto nsa didi nti.
So mu mu ntwom.
Oni mu nsem bia odi asia e wo so mu nyina. Enti no sa nipa no kobopo etia wo ehu pa. Sa
nipa no bopo tia wa ehu pa.
Se woni na ekoba enti no.
Sa che bomo chichie.
Sa obe mayunfo a re. Enti sa nipa no ema ne ho so tia wa. Oye ne hwe enye yi.
Kinka biem.
David nyum number aduanan baako. Nchichemu aye nkono no. Ose madam for papo. A mede me ho to ne so no we kura wo se po na je se oben ho pa
utwotwo mutwo
pa
woni kwa nakrana
ne otalo pa madam for papo a mede me ho to ne so no a wodi maduan bi no wa mani nanti so atia me o Awurade humi mobo na ma me so na mintua won so ka
because dia wadam pono wa ya tia wo no
na so ordinator form no
ordinator form ti say Awurade amamu a
Awurade ama so a untimi kura nsori nyina ona so na
woni advantage bia
o yo hwe enye yi
ti onyame pe
Nyankopon pe na betu
onyame bam
sa
dia duro ni de
dise nyame bam
oba pa grace asimitia
oba onyu bi sa
oba ya grace asimitia papa
si dia duro ndi agise Awurade bam wo mo
onye okay edi ye mie phone line musa say sa semu ya David nyom okay timu ansa na ya phone line no na sign na obesi afa edi aka wa wasem edi a kire wo manma na ya famu aba wase sign
David nyum number aduanan baako nchichemu a eye nkono no ose madam for papo a mede me ho to ne so no a wodi maduan bi no wa mani nanti so atia me o Awurade humi mabo na mamintua won so ka
yes wadam for pa akwa ni mu ansa na wasade po
na yeso no ben o pa tu anu atia mu onu so tu anu atia mu
woni na didie
woni waduan bibibia
wa hwe no kurada
bebre
ana nei
wasole atia wo
amma ne mpaboa so
atia wo anwono wase wo baabi
anwono wase ana kese wasawo ana woda fom sei
tim wahia oto ase akonya de
wahia oto aso akonya
sa
ana ne wo betena ho
sa
na ji Awurade pe
o sa Awurade humi mabo na ma me so Nyankopon peja me kura na mintimi nya bibi mo ame ho
adawroma ade na wo fa afiri aseme mu na ye nyina ade atutu ye ho fo fra ye ne 0302257902 0302257902 ana say 0302243540 0302243540 yamwa ha
Jaja.
Kofi.
Mamudu.
President, now what you saying?
Saa na ɔmo ka na ɔmo sɛ ɛyɛ nso ne yɛ.
You.
Mamudu.
Kofi.
Ebi nkae mesrɛw. Wada wo ma. Papers a wokenkae no baabi mɛka hɔ ansa no mabase no so. Ghana for ɔma yɛne a yɛnni bi nanso adwuma bi a yɛyɛ yɛte task. Sorry. Yɛbɛyɛ vigil adabɔnten afekora a yɛna. Yɛnkomfɛntia nyiyimu ne adwempɔne a ɔman obiara bɛdi so a ɔyɛ ne tia ahiafoɔ. Adakabredie nti na meka saa wokae pepa bi ɛkyerɛ sɛ agradaa mfie dunum no yɛde ba fɛ. Wokai Abu Dhabi, Wokai Salome, if you almost so benina, ya simpie nine, Yamana Padi. And you see, Akai, Adakabre, you quantify Sika or G3 and conform. There you say, you say it's because we are a Burusudia. And she had 1 million as already. Agade, Opia Wakai Tigana. Adakabri, Mammy, Woko and full free stream, a free in what you seek. I am poor worker on no man baka was study a day, mean there quite by trade your big people. If you are a man in fear Dunuma, yet you are a program. Not a big said, I have it. Which is such a justice, or could be said. And the judges, no, your court, your friends, you prison, you took me a day. What should I catch the SI? Or had a man in build your soul? Said in the year of Baba, no, or no, what rules why a day? Or can catch the we say yet one ma, and we are big, but near what dear Cofotica, what dear?
What you want to Koswa? Judge Bian can say. Agrada deɛ wɔyɛ yɛ nti amra na emum noma mienu yabua wofo no ansa na yakɔ the next one sentence na yahwɛ ɛyɛ asotwe a yɛde ma wo nti asotwe a yɛde ma no ho asɛm ɛna high court judge no ka sɛ na asotwe no wo de toto mmra no ho a yɛde buarefo no a na ano ɔhye ɛna wate so nti nya de nwanwa bia sɛ ade oyɛ yakasa bɔne a wadie no judge ne nka sɛ bɔne ndi tia no nti ana law no ɛyɛ technical wo tie akyire sɛ ya wo nte aseɛ ɔmo wɔ rules ɔmo de yɛ adwuma baabi otimi kɔ baabi ontimi nkɔ nti de hɔ no de faction for the time being na fi asɛm da hɔ no na ɛyɛ
na ɛyɛ meka ne sɛ adaka technicality sɛ yɛ dɛ obi ne kotwa obi bɔɔl technicality to be a gentleman.
Kofi, and you want you man to want to see that. Why?
Madase. Adakabe. O young kwa unini didiye day. Will you my dear Yesu Christu Crano? Judas no beno. And we in the Maya. Now one day, Babu ya near the catch the dintia, and before young Kosuda. Me who family yammy, Jamen, can yamin the Rinipa, a year gun attitude. Abroad by ya, Methodist, Womotia, Okol Mina Casa, or Martin Methodist was so, no more to Nipa, a place, a ditch Gugu Omo 9, a dow Omo Quadomo America, Cordofi, the any Adimomo, aye, Senko Omo and Fa Bible and Church, said, O young Hotel Bonnie, a fashion and prince, who don't know your son. Keno Brunia, what the Abba Finitrim.
Okay.
To almost the year that Diana Kayaho. Say, and Jeffrey, Namedia. Barbara now so catch the William Bon.
Hello. 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 Hi, yeah, man, it's okay. I'm saying a line. I shall see. Yamoha.
Yeah.
You, in your way. Nipa ya on the corner crana. ono to no mu wasa ama no papo aso de atia wo na gise awurade ya na be ma so wo fa the same.
Okay, offer where you have my son to start because if you are my son, offer you only be here, did you?
Adaroma ensuo no
Okay, offer. They said you are playing with the bank now. They are calling on young fashion content. Would you have breath? Now, they be a me too, carry a say, manage it. Of one poor battle to be mamma, me won't have famine to be. Call my girl, my son, woman to me to the wedding. But the poor battle to Bam, and one of them to another cabreke. Because why you do?
Tuntum say you on happy.
And now, send me and come and go young to talk around the other. I'll call the offer now better than what to go.
Hey, nah, you're better to Tuntum say BTS.
That be a notion of one young could put rock. This are no, if you say I didn't talk of a corner offer. Man came
out. Just or Pabbe, you know, Tibor, not or Tibor.
And one crowd cried to crowd to man a young Okola. Not the Afro could.
I am in here when the Black Beauty.
Of I am sure. And yes, I know we are say. Nipa dear, we had done your best for yet, we had done your temple. That is why yes, Christo Craba and was known when they wouldn't put one pan 1 to passo. Cheyenne should do block Quamanium in now for 4 Toman deal. Now for one catching zone, Yamin, York, I have one. Yenshe Job in the Yelancasa, and you crack against the Munyan coupon. And this any party who will be on your bojusto. Internet, Dia Concordia, as one singing in Abaso by free swa. Chopper. Nipa unya sama ya na obefi so wa adopwama o de nya asem hwe
yo ye de wase o si nya asem hwe 0302257902 na aye chronicle and oko to Psalm 41:9 was even my close friend in whom I trusted who ate my bread has lifted his heel against me. Oh fan sign. Hello
Over.
Yamwa.
Jojo.
Say na wo si agi asemi.
Ofa, answer. Oba science ya, and answer mathematics ya. Ye de question bi tusa formula na eba ko pe won timi sanu. Ne mu kutesia. Osofo be asofo be pen kra ba obia wo the way oba preach no. Yeah, kutesia o kan yi. Ba me de context ni wa. Yen danafo yene okujato ina anya sanye kuteshi ni kire no na okujato pa ya sampa ona wo okujato ablakwa minister of gain foreign affairs no pa sampa sometimes ago na kabia president best friend no le humbia no no boy enkaye ne na okajato ya vigilant o tesa o serious on perfect abemba say etika nti president beko baby are not the base brain. Yeah, but so could you have like say since 2025 about ye in Kada, yeah, on for report the Ambre said President 2.4 Nigeria Crampono, bull when or the buy. On young baby, and she said, you are dear no more. Or no, and the next protection, okay, any idea. And I say,
yeah, and what can be a year. I do a quotation, you come over to a black. Oh, Safi. No. Now you raise your heel against. Good afternoon. You. Now we are what to say.
Me wanna me papa we only have any question because of St. John's.
You. Open you can say at me ente we.
You adibi ha. Of ampacho tan country plan from okrum ha.
I say me that to baby for free ya.
But what say?
I say me that to baby for free.
Offer says you about dan we see west state nyina. Okwan no pra we to dan asimu. Offer wonyam wo de be school wonyam wo de be lolo kwan. Nti kuro no ye titi no fa ye chele den. Empen from the office wa adwuma bian wo di. Offer dan chichiri mo wo boyo srumu. Nti mo obedi ye ho ye wo. Kwan be ndi ka to de nchiri ma. Ye bi asabe basa da mi. Oh,
wasi papa. Ana onyonko brebu opo. Onyonko odofo papo. Ene ne de. Onu wadidie na afi de. Ona watwa wagu wonu me a woti awe. Ye awrade ne be manso. And we are watching the signs of the Chronicle, the Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
Yamuaha. Hello.
Hello, me you hold your mama.
Bien here, we're penny.
That's no kind and yan so back. Oh, sir, yes, the one who really hurt you will never be an outsider. Mimicking, yeah, visually said. Now, I'm in Colabria. Now, that too. No, you see me said, yeah, or stormy, or a master. As you know, and I'm the so called enemy and mother. And I are fine. No, this is me. We are said that we say you see it, but nothing to you. It is awesome and yet, and we are sad. I'm going to say, oh, one thing. So we almost don't have one thing. I am common. I see through. If you're more proud, okay, if you for. There no crap.
Now, so what you saying? Some 41 no. When you uncle Brabo na wuji ni di na woman aduane di and they one man is aswati ya we ya woda form. I was say we ready say one mouse so. Turn na wuji no. Yamuaha. One that was way.
Me ADAKABRI no ni o.
No, me entie we.
ADAKABRI some we some so. And let me say Bible crack say found home to the paso. Oh, ADAKABRI. And you do. And then before I can Japan no. Hey, come out we are from Medasi ADAKABRI.
As we go to my to buy you. Hey, now so say now fa no. Yamuaha.
Yeah, of ADAKABRI.
Yo, near frost any.
ADAKABRI FM Gideon because free American.
Yo, Gideon, when young Brabo ya we ni di ya man aduane di and on na man insaswati ya we ya woda form. We already paid the beti me age wo. O fa the same.
ADAKABRI ayenzem bebreu. Nanse mi tie Canada Japan. Ni die wo kan awie ama ayema reho. He say Canada Japan say MPs ni bebree wo ha on the ball mo wi no mo sit. Nanso eduru say wo contest no. Omo sankrofo no nye say omo to abatie no keke omo yeye no ankasa. Enti na wiase no den say obi a wo mbom wo beboa no na wo tena no enye say bi a wayi wa makeke wo no wo say ekui. Enti ADAKABRI ta topic we de eyesua de say nyina etu yan hofu. Say ene do enom trese ma yenye papa. Lemom yensesa ya brabo obi ye bi ma wa. Ya kai say wiase obi ye bi ma wa wo so ye papa fatua ne kane jai say ye be ye boni mu e de tua ne ka nti me de o kan ni kane de Japan de no aye futu sema ma nti insuranka woni waduma ye
yo I say aye futu sem de amame aye Psalm 41:9 even my close friend in whom I trusted who ate my bread has lifted his heel against me. Yamuaha
Ofa ADAKABRI
na mo akunie
Ofa mpacha ono
na mo akumie ntie we
Ofa awia nyame asumdie nka ho
asundwe nka ba bia obi na mo akum
ene topic ya ode ato ho no ya asema a wo si discuss pa Ofa asema ye kana awia yi ya asema eye ahiasem na minim se yesi se ensa ahwewda ana se ensa asansu ama wono da no anka sa ensa no yankasa ntia sa ensa no na se me ke elda entela election yewe Canada Japan eko na MPsa odi mboto musika eto ne ma ade bua wom emma ne ma de kwaye campaign a omu yini be ye MP ne na okope di be o party no sa MPs no ene tina tem ekan sem tantan de tre no ye no ofa ya se obi papa na assemble na fa ni to papa be wa ne pen no obedi wasem aka ensem a emfa ka kire no eya na ya ofa de ene ama papa ya den ene oyo bi papa yempa na o
wodwen akyire sɛ ɛkyerɛ akatua bɛn na wobɛnya afiri mu ɛti nnɛ yi sɛ obi obi papa deɛ ɔfa ayɛ den papa ɛti sɛ wohwɛ sɛma no ayi bible mu yesu nipa bi ɛda bi ɔwu na obi atwa ɔmo kɔɛ no nipa baako yɛgye ne nkwa sɛ obi papa ayɛ de sɛ ɔbɛ papa ɔfa ɛyɛ de sɛ ɔbɛ papa nti papa ayɛ de papa ɔga na ha paa sɛ ɔbɛ papa abo obi ɔga na ha ɛnsan deɛ yɛhu ɛne deɛ yɛate ɛkɔ nti ɔfa ayɛ de asɛm deɛ ɛdi ka paa na da to wɔ no
ɛdeɛ na wososo no sɛ na wosi gye no sɛ onyɔnko brɛbo a wodɔ no na de woso gyi di so nso dɔw a wo ne na to nsa didie amana aduane adie na ne won na twitwa ne ntene ya wo na ada fo me afi na wusu frɛ wo brade so wo brade na emema wo so sei ɛna ne chronicle odi ibu ye be na wo gye ne sɛn ya mo aha hello
good afternoon
yaje oso ya mi entie we
I'm sure Alan Chamantin what to say
yo kwadwo me mu asɛm ne ho ye
one can come on to me or more what video movie now or more in a man and could be your mukabaku. You see, as somehow came at the cabaret. No man baby see I have at the because of the shower, no show the Ukovian Quano didn't go show. Yeah. Near me, I don't case in the morning as if for the moon. Now, mimi abi mi mbodi na oba akra mi nchen ena na obetna me di ni ko bebi a ge di nu ka mi di no ko meeting kra e wo na national na ye pam na mi so wo ye party e wo ikru mi ada se but actually no sai bi fan na call chief of staff office say me ye campaign against nana nti me ba won mo nti kita ke bi no mi ada se last bi mi call ye ko meeting bi already and can boys na ko muku almost a proposal saying nipa me di misika me oba akra me na me na corner na office or yes 4 minutes ani ada di na no ono na ko yi mi ma nke yi ku nti sometimes no ti one more no to go yin if friend be say go and deny or so kind nti Kennedy your phone me chairman thing dey mo dey na ko na be di mo atama ma ye nti Omanda also Mada 23% in Albania general election. Thank you.
Hey, someday a brubi so. Now once so wood in the same. The chronicle and what the other know. I say, hey, David in Yomono. Adriana Bacon. In teacher moon chrono. The Minyonko, me dog for pap. Me nini didi ato aduane ame na die na enei watene ne nsa wa me so na me da fom sei wo abrabo mu no sai na wo se je sa asemi ya mo ha
ya nya da ka ba wa fum tida
kuntu ya wo ye na aso so
ala ka ba sumu ye papa ala ka be wa wu ne pen obo be je adofo o tun franka mo je ne ba kisu adofo kisu na o tun dum kwa se ne papa kisu adofo until the call after the back, what you think of the money alcohol. And I come so which is a summer of the only thing and I live for which was your own. Man, didn't put it to the and I come back, the papa, why you want it? Once you see, okay, yes, you Mamma, oh, young boy, who buy. You put it to me, it's a walk at a ball who buy. Man, cut the young people who buy. Let's go, and the baby. What's what? Man, didn't put it to me. Information there between our war. You put between our war, pay your doctor to the war. And so, we are saying, if you want to go, I mean, wow, look at all this. Man, James, the number 12, what I say is one for who by another bed. Mamma will jump what who buy. And see, if you are some no can actually no. Rather, I said, I'm going to obey to my what we are to venture say. Mantana kaba ma dan to na so na betra wo obi balance ya da masa mo ka no e ma no so to be bi ya sa na ka so mo ko mbe de asama afo bi abetra wo de nimpa ne mbra no be chim ne no do bi ba o be ka so mo nta da ka ba we aganda ni no ku ja to no be ne wa so me ye ka asama obi abetra na bo ka betra wo no ene wa so ka so bi aba ne for the so bi ada ka na nka mo ka se ya so na ka wo yo mo be bi ka to no ni follow pa asama ka ombre
na won so no Sana some woje no. Sɛ onyonko dɔfo pabrɛbo a wamana aduane adie na ɛnɛ watene ne nsa wɔ so na ɔda fam na oni advantage bia wɔwurade na wusu frɛ ne so ɔmɛma so kwana kedo ɔde gya yɛ wabrabɔ mu no sana wusu gye asɛm yamwa ha hello
Robia Santi Kotoko.
Ye nebonsu.
Tete Asante no. Kuma pemwa apembeba. Na mpem sadi akire me ma. Piao. E dwoso be sase de hye. Onyame asundie na nka wo. Anya bia ko bai. Na wo yere.
Oh, need fufu, need abenkwan. Ene kwa de need nwakura aka ho. Ana need potodwe. And I need quarter, and I need emre, a baby, and I need ya dear frame with your man, as I come despite in the Obapa, Rama, or my me, ya kesu, needs a special ice and a gusua, and one no.
Saturday, only looked at the full support. And for a restaurant, catch us as a woman who was holding out of me, a Rosario, and the other station for him call. Or the cocoa member to a cotton comic tree, and aroma. Crobia, as someone would have to gay. Just said, make us a comment at tennis shoe. Who is a man talk about the house, no money, and this never be a check. So, I. Me and Cassami Diamo made him, she come in here. A boy, no fussy them, me. And then someone would do my term. Because some of them tell me we're something about. Kosem akɔfa ade de ma brantie no ene wo san kwan dawa ntine papa ye aye dene so be fo bi da ko nkwa no no di kwa ko hwuo o su ka gadu o ene sikal shase se eba electricity kwa engineer mo chapter da ro me de ko buani ni mo orun kwa ho onya electrical post be 3 a wo san kwan dewa kesi mo kai enya sabe nya na so mo e ya de tasie ese e bia di me e bia me hwesu am cham na sa me okuno jombo ni ono konzara kan tika me chara fa kan tika so ye bia ma me kan tika dim tintima bi na me ko dem ko ye no ya kan tika de busa me fan to fi kasi eso we go to say na do so mo me afa chia no me da se
Never to go me. Do I wait for the HM?
Hello, good afternoon, boss.
I want to say your pro saying,
I do more now, somebody say.
You now say me off as a mutant, also day bay.
Oh, whatever, ADAKABRI, and you made the work I can come on. I say, more can you get in sister? Oh, and your papa, your man, people, and nation. Me say, yes, so, seven, to be up about I'll grow, and see, and Penawo. And check, na can get an honorable, the Bayare, the Basque is near Beji. Also, and then do me here, can you mono, on the Michimano. But if you see, and yes, she, yes, I can say, Onya would say, maybe, why? Nakaka mechanism patrol, Ola, Kato last time or you see me here, Fukuni, don't bring you, why? Mama, you a piece of them, why?
You, 2 more callers, now for your refuge. Come on.
Yeah, Jana.
What can you plan your process in your middle?
I send you offer.
Aisha, would offer Poe.
As I would offer Panama.
Middle Panny Aisha.
Oh, Miss Middle Papa, and what fun, yeah, I'm back with them now, Cano. Mr. I throw 2 of my why? What for 2 of my what for some with your copma quadrant Japon? Yeah, kind of banana, you must see me say, baby, I'll quabna, Japon war, delicate war in our zero. Police station agent in point to a pay. A bit of what your mocha. Ah, me, you must see me say, pop bonus and no one zero. A bit of war agent, war sharp, but it's not agent in point to a mama pano. A day pop bonus and no muted to one papa zero. Muti to no enya 0 nti mo kwatina wo to abane ma wan wa mama aduane edi ama mu nsu ya no mama mu sika wo fa nyame betu o mo kawai me ya dodo nipa nye nipa boni semta aden katia kwa brede po bia wo bia me se me de mita nachi oni ala nkash mi tese me yemu shishi me momo nyame bedi o wan asem amomo wai bro mo abre party mu bro mo abre na mu yo mo saye na sa agent fo no mo nto aba ma mo ne nyina o mo bene o fa ba e wa odi nyame nya adwuma
nyame nka ho finally one was strong me dofo pa hey yamwa ha ya process ni
amana na ekata no
amna mi antie we
mi ya me ka kire e jo no time say we ya MPP ni mapa ya register on your mouth card ya je ti e flex no who card be on MPP on go for no ka already no e di ani kana fu e di e fu na nam e ti o ka ta ya ka kire o say online god ni e fu na nam se kare da pon ka ho e ti mo ka yi MPP no anya ba ko for di o e je party ana ni ba ko for di o e se dem MPP wo ka sa no we have put up ko tile collect e mo do se be ejuma mo do se be ejuma ana kom ka 2 million 3 million para que veamos abi bi abra hu e to ba ma adubu 92 para que nya akhida so ben fango e ti MPP tile collect na mo ta ba ya online and ba mi ani kene no enfa and then bi aba apia me ka so ko su abusu apia me ka na wa o di president every time ko di president ayi wai o do ma o di president support o di president the president na me fa ma wa we ya den kunya afada ke baba
hey nanti
akra
ye unye ni san
se ko wie dia ahun se na ko ye fie da na ye nyonko brebo a ye ne to nsa didi ya yi ahwefo mu die ye mfa we nchiche atiefo nyina ro ni tefa matiefo nyina ye mfa we nchiche ye nyina se ye nyonko brebo ni didi ye ne de wakotie nantie yi ahwefo no ye mfa we nchiche ye ro ni ye da so David nyum ho a David nyum number aduokono na we de me sha se free nchichemu a ye du 9 no o se ma wado ye emiyen anopa
adoye ma ne me
anopa na ya dia hurusie na ya ni age ye na nyina
ye ni age na ni nyina
ma ye hu insan yen
yampa
enna wo bre yan ase no
bra wo mo bre yase
enna nyina wo bre yase ne say 10 years no bre yase a me ye ni ahurusie sa 10 years aha ndo se
tooth for tooth
sa ma wado ye me anopa na ya dia hurusie na ya ni age ye na nyina ma ye hu insan yen enna wo bre yan ase no na infi a ye hu bone no ose ma wadwuma inadi ema wonko a na wanu onyam inadi wo maso ma ye ruade nyankopon animotie emra yen so na yen san no nnwuma enye yie yiw na yen san no nnwuma enye yie amen
yiw na yen san no nnwuma
enye yie
yiw na GN Bank enye yie
sa
divine Nkrumah director of operations of the Progressive People's Party pay ya pre papa preko na minu ya no baba betina se na eto nam nyako the NDC Eastern Regional Youth Organizer ono so obeba ha sei na Faruku Osman Saddam of the New Patriotic Party so obeba ha na yanti we mfiri ho John Dramani Mahama in the campaign trail and papa kosi indom ekokoshia no adin nkrata nyina kokokyere no se GN Bank akwane ye fa so a ye di twa ne license mu no na nya kwampa nti wosere no onyankunimdie bia dia onsan fa sa ne license ne ma no osan eko alankwadwo chemate no kra oko baby bebrede nkrata no kokyere ema comments the then candidate John Dramani Mahama ne de ne say wi anisa and graphic quotes the Bank of Ghana rules out GN Bank divine ndeni
yo midase dedi kan no ma minchi a etiefo minchi amuso mo hwe na men chia wankasa nso me say America krania America kakrania me shia o boy adwuma nso because energy no da so osra na nkrofo wo oyare fa special hono omo se me fan cranberry say omo anto voice na bibi ye omo oyare fa special papa bi e friend wo fa o UTS state kwan so hono otie osisi a o say me ba o see station on the OTA ni
bridge bi kura ho no mo a it's a bridge na buo ni yes a bridge no wo area ho no.
Oh okay, I think say bia o maye me
yan hwe na kwame abuja bridge bi aka mu bia won hwe
o hwe no enye yo me that say GM bank in some no they di kan let me issue this disclaimer say me nye GM bank staff director bi intino information a me wo no na me pese me de betudwa about the banking you know on say before ye beto abanimu no na Dr. Indum ebontoa eko presidential aspirants for nyina ho no eko presenting the petition e de ba ho say omo hwe ne nkrata mu no mu ankasa enfefi mu hu say ogidi say yamfa na amfa ekwan papa so ewo ebia kwan fa so I revoke the license of the GM bank any ni juma ahodo nso a ekeka ho no ntino in the process no koshia cheda okoshia alanchemante okoshia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama any other candidates no de nsem koto omanim by to abawie ye nso no nkitahudi ahodo nso akoso a em say anamon utimu say there is goodwill or corridors of power no there is goodwill say like they want to reinstate and as try to restore the license in a way a ebema amount for any adwuma ya na enwuma aba na unse best about 2 or 3 months ago best 4 months imu ana some rumor be babontin say GM bank license no has been restored and then also kobogu here then suddenly about 3 days ago so na so resuscitate ye biwa na nkomo no koso a obeti say CEO GM bank me menya a lot of tax on my social media platforms people are tagging me to congratulate Dr. Inum so is here the Juma ba but for me I had information I knew say endu osa and I said no kre any sa speculation in nsem na enam enframemu no na minua de omunie de omu de nti a bank restoration no aye bibie da ho and I said something which is there and they say one on say a Bank of Ghana and the sheda so ahwehwe ni ntinyamemu a ogu GM bank and as o collapse no ni wie no group indum the directorship no any owners no at the BOG any government of Ghana court high court and the high court ebu aye confirm yes a BOG decision any anamo omutu yo omudigu GM bank no it was in order intino e hono twetwere hono ana indum si da bi sa judgment no verdict na if high court by no nebo enjo so nti e hwa na ode asem ne kodan the appeals court say no or ko siki for appeal se na be ya ogidi say say nyame bi wo no mo ogidi say okoho no mo e be address concerns na ma no me no ka say the matter is still pending, it's still in the appeals court ye mu aye enti no say President John Dramani Mahama krampo efini pemu ende kra no so ope say omwa indum omwa Ghana for no on state bank na because of that pending issue na oba e court one one indum ntimi nkoka say or withdraw case because when you withdraw the high court decision will stand and now appeals court case in so yenwie so a aban ntumi entu anamo emfa court na chi nka say yemu asem nwie a onu no tini na etu ni na aginam aka say case no or reinstate eno no ye one and na unim na NDC for no President John Dramani Mahama when they were in a position there was something they were not privy to which is Osha IMF conditionalities are a binder da any omo eko sign e hon krata ko yeah, you know, there is actually a clause. A what include do in the negotiations. You know, say license of the revoked banks. You know, yeah, momu or yeah restore that. Abayin whether abayin be jina and abayin that be pano. Eswa government no share that. Edik as anything. Abayin be any one no more. Obe to me about obe decide say or per se on restore GM bank license. Until now me no can say when they came to power no. And no man be realize say hey. In 2018, BOG for the first time, but I think now they didn't want to come out to say it. But once all of a sudden, if you look at the wording, any kind rules out, it means that consideration, it is not in their books at this moment. The only thing is if court overturns, then that one they will be compelled. But otherwise, as it stands now, there is not going to be any arrangement that say babe restore GM bank license. Enti sa ensem na enam enframemu a amanfo bebre etem. Asem papa na ke si a say adwuma de beba ekroma mmebu na nya bia ya. Yen ka say asem papa abafo asem pakodo. Say yentie. Say adwuma beba dia fine. But assistance now no. The clarity on the matter and say yen restore bank license bia na BOG so about abeka say nkitahude bia nkoso but the sisi a edi blockade and I say embargo ato abain so because me who say microphone so try some more ridiculous. Some of the MPP, I've seen some of the MPP stalwarts, some of the MPP guys, I've been tagged in a number of posts that they try to mock me. For instance, they mock those who are like aligned to Indum before, no, say aha. Someone I must say, Mahama about the license and the Babana Makakudi Nechi as you see how I will say wa. And I say, Wadada. But they only say, Omedi Bonike see the reinstatement of these banks. The SWA government. Omu de akwa question krata mu say, aban bia ni wonu mo betumi aba efri ni pemu. Etumi aka say opese on restore and on reinstate ya obey reinstate. So that conversation, you sign at the stamp any signature siswa ho na osisi
and sana
obi ntimi nti ase nti unim say on say that time no na omo promises say na Bahama ka say oba banking sector clean up exercise no be investigate omo di no be restore na yi no unza na de bi omo moke omo sere say asem no ni masem worker but they didn't know say sana IMF it Frank Davis mu omo call omo aban mu they have opportunity no more serve in government no omo nim say omo de shemu so the news say Mahama pay on pay na so sure do hwan kra na Heritage Bank for instance of all the banks are collapsing and Heritage Banks is one of the banker it didn't have any challenge in terms of liquidity in terms of management nothing onu the records in the books mu so clean the said Agongo Bank the only challenge onu no with everyone say the governor any people in the say in the case be court Cocoa board case or no na onye fit for say the background obetimi oni bank that is all but sanka hwemu pa ono for instance say no if say obi case wo court na yem pass judgment interest we di for na we di bima because mo na momrem no ka say the person is innocent until proven guilty it is yen che no proven guilty ndi boni bia ya minim de nti anka ban ni begina so say ye gu ne bank onu say because of sa clause no whether ni hu twa ni hu ntwa ye bua na asem ye bua na asem na me no ka say ye ntumi enfa ne license enfa ama no say on operate
no say ye bone be nko na omo
ye nim how to actually respond to this particular question because omuna omutrimu pono omuni madua etai omutrimu nti a omudi yes agreement no and as omu trust ha particular clause no ewo omuni IMF conditionalities no because say nya sa pa dia omutrimu pono omu pena ometumi akire mu de nti asa bone we bone some we call so a ometumi take it as decision and me no ka say even if it will be in the interest of Ghanaians so kra no a none of the banks can be reinstated and are restored.
But the entire divine busa was someone say there was share one more year go banks be now bought see do agongo as edin. Now notwithstanding say you go in the bank and they say agongo the near brace I juma from and now he's into aircraft engineering. I just will repair aircraft if Rabru the Grabagana or company or repair aircraft. And do as I say in industry captains, Ghanaian entrepreneurs. Yana yet me ma abai a kwa warm a year was a repair aircraft, you know. And you Ghana for one obeying engage Ghana for ama transfer of engineering knowledge. Let me repair aircraft when they come to Ghana.
Is idea I mean same way I'm not going to be partisan about it. Like me per se, we put it in the national perspective, the context, because me jin this say sa ahoya sa pull him down. Yen say we yen for ensanka we yen for ensanka we no ebe boa obia. At best, if business be all no more a provided service goods edema Ghana for na sounds to create employment my mebunu no do na so nya bi ya. We can just protect it. Even if there is a challenge. Because once General Motors, for instance, in America, you know, they almost went under. They were having serious financial challenges, management challenges. Couldn't say the American government decided, say, Onua take you over, restock. Now wasanso amo capital, or recapitalize General Motors. No more General Monanso. No more your match, your Kanoma Sanso hand over. And the General Motors and then damn no can say. Casa can say in a HTB, I'll bet you say Ultra Ford, Ultra GMs, who you say no. Today, the benefit in any Trebia. Omanguno, by Negana, I say, Obieso Ebibia near the Ensaka Coca, Obieso Cohasia near the Ensaka Coca, and you ask yourself, say, in why interest and I servo, is it or mine on your pese and Coswanas or mine on your pese, yen senior, mindra, and then. Me a sure pass ora gongo ne bank we nanke ejina honum and now sound so yes an aircraft maintenance any other businesses your yeah me a sure sen constante from class 1 by this time I graduated to class 4 or class 6 am I see numbers in so anka or engage in employment in so augment to a certain level e mebunu no bebre so enya bia because me say never to say 50 time my good banky I can tell you for a fact to say many of the people omulusu omunyuma no a lot of them either say omawari egu because omu into me and manage ho lifestyle no mo de obi wo no mo a on say
we got them mortgage
unso bi wo ha na obe ware no wadwuma o ya na ni da so say adwuma be ya che because on di money bia and o some lifestyle bi obi lifestyle de on to me and can say behavior and all lifestyle be okay me man nyina be go school ha say me use so every week bi amebo na akoma e bi 1000 na bibi until zes can we chat war yes now all of a sudden obeda be sorry wan ka bi anhiem na adwuma no egu a sa akoma no ntumi fa man na yire so what introduce you to some lifestyle be onu so ntumi aka nti
enkwala no
school no mo ko
abi na akosesa enkwala no bitumi chusu ka yampan enko school ne and e be ko with the Jaguar
nti e be ko with the nti na me no ka say amankrofo bebre elusu omawore agugu me no ka say hwe there was one lady bia me ankasa me confidence so that girl time one no start so here adwuma no when me fair na me need an so say no girl there me nya ka me no be bibi e bia na eventually no abeda na aware because atana me young kakra me need an so girl me dinner tie dia say girl
national
service on female just say
can you imagine
just on twana ni kura hwe me nya hwe just on bo me pipimpo
can you imagine
unim say because of the hardship a girl iko me wonu mo a
on be part we
no afre me say me we na me si o me ofi o si o me free ana na me say that asem o si di obedi mo edin na say nka betumi a sure no say me man 50 cedis that time as me can 2020 o say betumi man 50 cedis at that time no a dia me pe bia obeya ma me
can you imagine 50
cedis that time 2020 o say dia me pe bia no obeya ma me
cryptic language
and amatikasa no Oh, I thought metikasa. I thought to say odiagro. I'm palam and the cattle castle.
50 cedis.
Yeah.
We
double no transfer man so on there. On Tisimua. Because I'm in this girl no. Obesa. Me so na hwe. Me o mani so tell me no na. Obokoko. Ah, ojina on ma ready say. Oba be meet terms and conditions of the 50 cedi na me that.
Oba be meet TNT no.
Yes.
A TNC no be.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And
so now you're ready cry.
Oh, me mom dear, na me nye ready. Na me penasa mo na timeni so that time ni so na me so no me cry my occupy.
It is say nipa no. What goes through her mind?
You see, for her to come to that level, no, obe reduce no to that level, cry should tell you say, no, bibia kochew. Na ese nkofo bebre afine on themselves no. E wo bad situation mu. Hwe me tia ka say man say me ho akonfo keke. Man say me ho akonfo keke.
The only option.
Because yo ADAKABRI me catch nkofo no mu njindi because na me ni any other bank bia me save apart from where I was working.
Because uni nipa no uni mo no.
Na me ye adwuma, that time no so na me ye adwuma wo ho.
Na no bi twa me mpo say na so ye ka bank na ozimisika da best point. Na me wuni me ne da kura hia me a best point be ma misika.
And you do
misika nko ba bia best point na ko.
On say because of the familiarity ni so no. On say akwa sister company na mo ye you know. When you are doing transactions na issues for one, you can easily call somebody you don't want to. But let me use this your platform no to also tell Ghanaians say from what I have learned, you know, nobody should put their eggs in one basket.
From what you've learned.
Yes, say like you know, try as much as possible to spread the risk, you know. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Me, I woke up one day, I'm a number guy. Makwa Juma, as a worker. Me wo other subordinates omo mase. Me so me won confirm me from my work staff.
Yes.
Na me be ko be ba no.
We are responsible for them.
For them.
And they are responsible to you.
To me. Na me da be sorry no me koya. Me adwuma no me be fie no me ni adwuma. Me sika ne so na e wa adwuma ni mu no so me de be bo me because fa ne say wo fie nsi e. Unim say ebia o ATM kitawa. Uni kra bia wo 2000 e wo account mu a. Unim say wa wo dia. Unim say ban takri dey say na here 200 a ko wo dan ho a. On sabe count 200. But imagine say o call no ATM no untumi use o bank ni adwuma and then so lose adwuma. Na what fie.
Na o beda ceiling na wo hwa na hwa hen.
Na light impomintimi ntobi. Say lights kanea. Say be fear me wo like lights me to me so kanea because also light no beti na atuaka. It dey bia me share one corner. Say na me susa. Now unfortunately for me so na me so me nua no mo no mebusu afon because of say na me ye adwuma GM bank no me papa sika so akamu omo me dan omo nyina me nua sika akamu makonta sika akamu machiri ba omo toto so nyina anti ye nyina no ye kagum sa esusa.
Say akola bi under 12 e hye a. How do you explain to under 12?
Obesi na explain to a dependent obi or dan wo. Iti me call mu na me hu de troubles are me fair mu no, and I know a number of people are
because practically no maybe I will buy that is divine, please our milk is finished, our water is finished, so buy some. I hate that to know
there
see as you scanning one no that is divine, our milk is finished, our water is finished. What can I say
now? You say me madam for be one or say a diagnosis no of never baby be ni fruma or see on ni yire ni ma di gari sa ma the sugar e be tie omo ye fumu ave the do baby obi afuru ma ya.
Can you imagine?
Because gari no anopa ewie nu mra na jo try say wo sesa asema ba
starch no sa
starch ni sa na kra ya wo no da nufu ano ne maame e di gari no nutrients be na be fa ni mu.
When do we know the real consequences are you facing here?
No, people have suffered though. I'm telling you, say this banking crisis and then but you know why I'm concerned about what happened in the say. You know, Ghana is a developing country. You can't say developing now. It means that nyama bebre wo no mo a say developing from road sector to infrastructure to transports, energy.
In the development, we are opening up.
It's nice. I say a graduate, you know. obia nya bibi ye na imagine say a chunk of your graduate body no ye better be sorry no omu nyina taxi drivers Adakabre unim say edu baby ye bie for employment for driver position e wo trade firm me apply e ko DQ musa
wo
anaminya de accommodate me no me ye
ana dim
me could do one so I thought say me swear why fast akonya bibi me could do one na me classmate for na yi for more than 18 of them nyina mo kita masters nyina DQ mu be driver position because emu ya din a untumi nkoka say o kwa ko chire mu o ba be yi no the kwan obefa so a yes there is dignity in decent labor so the obeye bia bibi be ko wano no obetumi aba akọ no onso obeye nti no nkofo ahyeda diamia bre nti no nim say ye nanso kekek say bank no beba anase banks no bi ebeye adwuma unum nkofo mani age like the excitement in the system is not even about party because me I know nkofo bebra they belong to even the MPP almost they were affected because recruitment to no ya share obia party card anase membership competence they share nti no it will cut across it affect a lot of people me say won abi no mu a omo age suddenly obi abehu no 35 to 40 no na be news already 60 years
yes when you kill an idea here is Dr. Papa Kwesindom with an idea and then you kill that idea you share
repercussions
across
serious
Samala Mwako formerly of Ghanaian Times
so no see a manager
yes
no GGFC and
a growth fund,
Ghana growth fund, and he friend is here at the town so you can one can say check in a life before. Let's also be checking is here. Na good graduate ya bomb mugala way abrabona abom form sa. And many of our people no man to be understanding in 2021 2022 omu nyina tu kwai. Some no can say okay yeah manager but general manager ba ko fia Samuel Sia.
Achim
da otini da when outin ka ogara who no way da be sao so say my body man so okay oh way
I was working achim da Samuel Sia
oh way be sao so way
otia ne ho beda so
oko what your name go so to me you know a PEP politically exposed person ejuma no be way
the untold story of that crisis
yeah they say am no ti otia manone obia oye general manager me ka adwuma oye wa manone a oji sen kan de pe no
adwuma ye wa manone itu abi nchiro eh ababa wo bi omuko university bi Ghana ha na omuko university no Ghana ha no na omuko university no Ghana se na chese wo ye bia pa chese wo ye team leader wo kro eba or the dollars kra nyina eba or the foreign currency no deba na fe dey ade koko wie ya o ma tutum several years later and I could do London and ba akoso anonso university onim we pa no oso koko pie oso koko pie London e ja oso ohunu de wo ye no ana akonya cleaning adwuma bi nipa no de ko cleaning adwuma no okọ ya chese ye introduce no that day no ye kire na adwuma be no no hu se obi ani abre fiko obi ani abre ni pakro no wo ye na adwuma na ye mu sie no se nyi nipa asomasi ni na onye too sure and say wo mo so maba we so consenti wo she da ben no and boni din a no mo university e de frɛ no boni din pa no san bo ye friend say ni pet name no na ara yet said there
so
why is still when you din na won karo and na the odi we na ko clean adwuma no mu kan no ka chen say twa so man ni pa ni abre na de fa no mani agro ni mu no wasu wo osu ni mu no wasu ni mu then ni pass me sia omo university just the hostel plan air conditioning nyina ya adwuma ho ekokuro mu ba wa different exchange ebe and London the leveler when you cleaner and I so akwakoto no enti bonfire sa brabo no ma esu ntwa just like that divine I mean shira says notwithstanding why a fair? But kakra no so na wo no. Champion rice na wo New Town. Champion rice no.
At least with Toby.
Champion rice bi wo Accra New Town. Champion rice no. Come in that's go before 9 p.m. We just champion rice. Oh man jam.
Hey, after 9.
After 9 no beba.
Go before 9.
Unya. Na champion rice no. I don't know the buyer come and say.
Come on.
Hey, opposite your very thing. Total.
Oh, I see.
After commercial bank, total.
I miss.
And they are met tribe.
Wallahi.
Me person be come on.
Only person. A champion rice bar.
Wow.
We got the very good time.
Oh, China na yabo.
Get to them. Ko ne ko di champion rice no. Na next week.
Na me come on.
Na ye come pa. Because Ghana adding but nkrofo bi so aton aduane wa ha bia wani ba.
Yeah.
Champion rice no 20 cities grab me.
Oh yeah. Oh fine.
And now oh very neat.
Yeah.
Master P na ka say. What's the hey wa Father Kabri to the whole year say. What's good afternoon, say. Wa Father Kabri. My mind is airborne inside Kingsland. Wafa please kindly send special condolences to Bernard Bento. A.K.A. Ben in London, Vivian Vento in the USA, Teresa and Josephine, both in the UK, and the entire Bento family, as you lay to rest your dear brother, the late Mr. Richard Akosiania J. Bento, a.k.a. DJ Richard, at St. John Evangelist Catholic Church in Adenta tomorrow. May God continue to comfort the entire Bento family in this difficult time. Papa, please also send a congratulatory message to Ahima Princey as she ties the knot tomorrow at Kenya. Say Jumem, Nanaya Soja, Aqua Kujano, Kenya say Jumem, one Nanaya Soja, but Yano Fim, Honor here. This is from Angie Bay and the entire members of the House of Dear fan club, and they are saying that may God bless your union, Ahima Princey, and all the by. And Nikki Father, also this quotation goes to those who have benefited from Kenya Japan and later turns their back on him. And or they buy, now face also a sleepy Richard, or say A.K. Akafia. I'm watching you live from Kanta. And greetings to Bache Jakun. Blade Jasper, as a good afternoon, Father Kabri, please extend my greetings. And what they buy. Stephen Papake, I'm sure he gave you 50 Ghana cedis, Bidato. And what they buy. Scott Jeffrey. I see Stephen Papake or ADAKABRI. This man sitting in front of you is not privy to all the information about GN Bank. Please don't force him to say what we don't want to hear. And or the buy. Stephen Papake, no. One no kati. Look at the nonsense you've typed. If it were to be two of us, like public intend to be attended publicly, sir. More especially when you write. It's divine. Director of operations of the Progressive People's Party, and then Etonam Nyako of the National Democratic Congress, Eastern Regional Youth Organizer, and also the Abba. You moving on. Challenges are, and I said to them, challenges are Ghanaian middle class have gone through as a result of banks and you Google no any other no. Divine story or it appears to be untold story of many.
Yeah.
Just yeah, now you know say kwalakura ka wo mo ho a. How do you explain to Akwala say our levels don't change?
Yeah.
How do you explain? Our levels don't change.
Yeah.
Etonam. A quick comment on that.
Yeah, me that's a bebre fache me say mileage kakra. Say traffic no edi minya kakra.
Traffic deputy was it who was that? I say Nejo Mama no my ye to ubi if Accra say bank nine. And then the traffic be no.
It's a man cry.
Transport. I put off.
A man cry chuki. Your bank cry na cry up so bank cry. ADAKABRI. Also why fe. Then I divine so and why fe no.
A champion rice na.
A champion rice no so I know fundamental.
O pa me so ya de.
our the woman. It's a no dear. Who said the Mian is a Mashata like a atos body
champion. Everybody
okay.
But will be also the home office so Ohiama. Ohia say
Ohia say standing public free opening.
They go to
Embe say yetimasi ehia biom for a long time. Mekai Abra campaign no ekoso na ye baha mama yakwanya ma yekasa yedi nkonim no President Mahama afi ba ko achi nie osebona na Ghana for na de bono na ehia crime so say yanya adwuma and disappointed Ghana for na sa induma say meba na metie divine and in fact minya a lot of reflections emra sanema no ACC na yeje banks Ghana for omo bobra etimi edum pempen so omo betimi oni omo banks na ban e de nani a kire omo so oje omo license afiri omo nsem eyi omo afi adwumam no na nia me madwen ye me kakra ne se me kai pa se papa kwasi indium GM bank no opeja bank no mo ma edu pempenso bi almost every village you could see some small 2 bedrooms bi na ehye honom na
ufre ye boss e come memu it was on the right
exactly because farmers near there
na hotel ni nyadan e fam na say papa ko sin ko tan na ji wona fire
on fire anajo fire hotel bi you see indum the banks no rera mia popular banks they say commercial bank no ne ade no
omonko
enko and or recognize say Ghana economy ni afina young middle income economy afina ye nyi say ye bewura maybe ye benya hoden nti the free be financial inclusion just say dodo na o man na yetim no nipa kakra bi na wo mo etse bank processes say wanya sika or your business no dey be to bank or save bi or your business no register or tia tax ni ade nipa kakra bi but majority of the people now more informal sector omo any financial inclusion omo doso omo no mutiti omo nsem de omo ye omo businesses omo nya bosian bia free babia omo doso pacho so tiase eno na eye oman aso di se obeboa madodo na etimenya financial inclusion omo betime ede omo ho ato bank bi so enya bosian bi di ahye omo nyumam na mo nyuma nketenkete na atimi apagya ne homu banks na so ma say esa by nam say dodo no ewo mia banks any honti no they don't have any opportunity to have financial inclusion nti indum na de sa ne banks no e course ampotemu nyina e ma ye maame nom ye nananom ye nuama no mo ye bodwa no odidwa kakra no de kakra kwa akoto save be 3 months no e due for loan ni aman loan no de ahye ne dwam nti say jene no ton affairs oto adaka ba ko ati say no oto miensa enan sa benefit we benefit a bro any other disadvantage or challenge eso nti aban ne ye hwe han egugu sa banks no the question I ask myself say sa yenua no mo wo sa areas no won be den agebosia de ahye omadwuma eche say adwuma no egu a otwa na ni hwe bankum a ento bi anim so they went through a lot of ordeals.
It's a midlife crisis.
I'm telling you, the depression womu komu and our kind of untold story. Womu amafa hu ewu.
Ayenim. Omu dependent. The dependent cause it's a dependent. Esika so akoshem.
Akoshem. Openi. Enu no mo akrache fo no mo ye adwuma o search banks mu a. Ye go banks no. Asetina na ebinum wom
se otimortgage mu na se ye reprocess dan no a okotina he
ohun letter wona bobo na the problem
ohun letter no de nani bonkum
eda
person de hwe because ope kind de wo mu no
so as try about it.
Yes,
people went through such ordeals. It made me test me blue I need 20 cedis to eat 20 cities. Obi ano chini cow.
Yes.
What time every morning kwajuma.
Yes. Skill ben again here. And no nka skills development.
Course. I mean, that's another world altogether. That's another world altogether.
But skill Ben, we gain as out to bank na we a teller.
Yeah.
Who gain skill be ana?
Yeah. Yeah, I know another level of.
But then lessons learned. Are we into skills development as at a nana? Ubetimi depend on your skill. Because here can no anybody be break no need a requisite skill.
So when you go there, that's another world because of share youth development ministry where there are a lot of training programs.
Equal access, equal opportunities. Ghana from Kuala equal access.
I'm telling you.
Equal opportunities.
Equal opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. That one.
Youth minister.
Pablo.
Equal opportunities. The programs are where Ghanaian youth. How many of them?
I'm a witness to that.
And you because we are regional organizer.
But no.
That's why we are asking. No. Ghanaian youth. So irrespective of where you are, where you come from, Pablo at the youth development, skills development bar, do they have equal access, equal opportunities, Anna?
Equal access, equal opportunity. We should say why for you digress you come back. We should why more models be brave, and when they are recruiting, they throw it into the air.
Sir,
people just go on air and apply.
The bank was corporate driver position.
Omu training Crawford driving. Omu training Crawford hairdressing.
And then the man has win your money.
And we are that they no nya way no count.
That's just to me be.
And the man there what's your agent can't no. Me connect to.
What's your agent can't? Be connect to.
Sa training.
On mine na yetimu
no. Training development is the way to.
Say si agitum say or man has a role to play, yeah. Because the wealth of the nation and the wealth of its youth.
Yes.
So no. There's a Mranti in the Mranti no yes and Sambi, yes, your friend if I say Famude. Na akokra se be the minimum Famude.
Na
Famude no.
Obedi a champion rice hour just.
Na Famude no. Nipa yete o ma we mu. Na yete nya production facility.
Yeah.
Omo ye Famude no. Na Famude no ye beka say narcotic substances. And ye dia sa Famude no. Inti no ba for nko yetimi chi wo mo. Transporting it across regions kura yetimi chi wo mo. The case adwoada me ko kan ho asem say obi etibasim na yedi ababe man ne say je never concrete na stop and search na onim de ewom na procedure costo bas no na ya kire enoma no ya kire noma na nipa no no na ni abrese ya kire noma no wo ka bi ahwe a confirm say empire famude na ko say
na nya ade no ka hwe
ai ko say so de ka kire maso yes o ro de ntade nya atiafaso na yetimi kire driver na use because stop and search say ade we di Ghana from Mranti enya omunya bibi so nya yenti na omodo omure e kwahye sa no na utimi kire driver no na instead senka abema a police officer bi atena bus no abankran ama yetimi akosto enipa obeje no ma no na nke bia yensa kanu a ono so betimi am ye hunu nipa wode ma na eni free kumase
free source no
na bia nipa so yakwachi na ono so betimi am ye hunu source ba bia production facility no wono we die wo kire driver na wa kire ensa no na wa kire ye fa ne say bus no enne the driver is before court.
Oh how
ama ya granting a bill in the sum of just 100,000 cedis for what to say or transport
or be better come or
making sure say and normally you say and you say now the most craziest part of it I say obi bus there's just about 5-year-old bus na proceed need to make say what's easy bus na si
how
cuz say final determination of the case and what
has the bus done
these are some of the enti we ya no what the driver the na court what easy famude no what say easy bus na ka ho does it stop the production facility no say
The source is still working.
The source is still working.
And you are dealing with something.
And to say you've na juma nye. No se famuda oha. Yes, a combination of a way anyway. I just say wouldn't kitu abi abe. But why would the youth engage in such vices?
Yeah. It's because there are no jobs. And now okay. But 1 year on our President Muhammad Baye. The say campaign time about have a car assembly trail. The youth wing or Eastern region, no. Yet we any share get to or Eastern region.
And a youth from Church be a sense and back also the Jojo.
Jojo, maybe any that about for
a Jojo.
Jojo Anna. And me catch me that drink Jojo.
Of us all,
I wouldn't mind grow. And some people have Jojo.
I want to do more.
I check for Muda. Why would the youth not engage in such way? Idea? And can you find your baby and that would they engage in such vices? After them,
and I make us say campaign time now, 2024. The tripe ghettos and ADAKABRI was shocking. Sometimes we will get to be at 11 a.m. 12 p.m. Now boys a go. Some get to one. Some boys and the go was about 200.
It could get to
that quality time.
That quality time. Engage in what?
Engage in what? Maybe smoking near there. Why? Because the devil finds work
for the idle hands.
And if you don't keep these young people engaged, one more and pay BB and yet I bet boy mine can't quite boy one casanswa. What I will definitely find is level. Ebia kolani atete if you papa bi mu. And so enam so wo fia onya djuma bia no. Okona damfo no ho ene no akọ china chi osi okoja me ha obehu ane se was start spending the time. Ewo ghettos. You recognize it say the rates are na mebu no say o madaje o ghettos no. Na no odin pa. Eka ho
vodka mix.
Eka ho. Eka ho pa na youth development ministry no. The insheshe bebre egu ho no mo apprenticeship programs near there under YE NYE omo training for free.
Now what meaning Ghanaians and it me manufacture idea we say for public consumption?
Well me start idea we know there's a different school of thoughts for me. Recently I'm call US and I'm realizing so my legalize cannabis or ho no more. If you look at how much patronage is going to Sanema Wemua, say Sabine say obe regulatia, they will make so much money from this thing.
Sadia.
Whether umpu, the truth of the matter is that people are patronizing. Oh yeah, oh taboo no, still they are patronizing. A lot of business is going on. People are transporting this cannabis. They are turning it into edibles. So at ya, be the cake near the ADAKABRI. The more cake ni be now dear.
Food and not food and
which no work
Narcotics Control Commission. Ebe sensitization. Emma VIP staff any drivers near the. People want to make yes sir. Ya puto aputonsu. Tomatoes. Any your friends them mako. Any idea chasa wouldn't say chasa would you could tomatoes. And I tell you puto adia nafra.
Na me num mako party a me num aduro. Nti e ma me nsan bia me si o. Me mpa bibia mo ma me sobolo. Da bi me si o me pe sobolo because me pe soft me num nsan bibia na e bre me sobolo wi ya.
Afedi kanum bia, kanum bia.
Da bi you can also be e come say me nim afedi after few minutes no ADAKABRI unim say afedi me drive me say me koto amnem na me ko wiem na ma parki na me nam unim say bibia me say beka bia mewe me hu bibia na medi
ADAKABRI ma come experience me
mun come here na ya
sobolo ya o na me num wie na me bisa nipa na ode ma me say I hope say ade hwe nim na party na ye twen aduane mba na sobolo no ba na edi kan no me num ni nyina me ne madam for back ti enu wie na mbisa no so ade ketewa bi na wo na say kai ebi aye we o say ade ketewa bi na wo de bra me ye ntwe aduane
me
ya kokofo aduantem
mo kokofo aduantem
ye si kwan so aye ba ye du buzu na isa ade no ye mienu nyina
obi atimi nko
afi ye ba na me hu say light bi aso anim tell me say o car bi ayo overtaking all by so to madam for say oni slow down na car no overtaking you know say na me jina preko no jina ye jina wa be 10 minutes
kabiama
and I'm say and the car we jina oni yanko ya say street light
10 minutes na mu jan watch
me no ya
so very sad
very fascinating
me nia ba ko fi US buy eno buy eno ono koya che eno ka che me so obae na me ka che se nsam bi omo unum wo ho sata na me menya experience na wie ena me say mo nko ho osio jami na we dey me unim dey me wo US na ma me say na unim me first no say me come anim me ka che se honjae osio be no ena onum ye ba me sa dey no na me miankasa Friday ba na Saturday me ba UTV abaye show nti no me di kan akofie na me dey me jano akwaje ma home because the following day me was show
anopano
every day me ti fie ma twa me nua Isaac uwen me friend na me sanka no unim sana ofi plus 233 hono mu a obebe fie no be do sankara kwaje ya we twa run about no 30 almost 30 minutes video me friend no say nothing na ufie kwa 19 things am kwa papa kwa Afrikiko plus 233 no plus 233 no anu aba na ni mabedu akwaje anu wakora na about abina o see ufie no kwa na wadodo adai run about ne so dodo adai o complaining na kacha say unpack unu say mani so team na me koshia no North Afrikiko wada just say ref
na you see solve some problems here. This is a year process for identity or the driver be court say a year curtains of alcoholic drinks laced with plant material suspected to be narcotics. Then a driver and a human say or driver bus obidi and sank our curtains me our box everybody sneak
nothing to do
now
with
obeti me who say a alcoholic drink laced with plant material suspected to be narcotics.
On forensic ben or wow obeti
yeah ke kura no mudi ka kura ko catch the judge and say cocaine say dey ben the judge say that you don't use that word mun use substance because now they be quite testing
and what me I confirm
but na say wo ye adwuma now say driver near to one obi
no the onya forensic
e be throw the car I was said driver ni no has a duty say all check his check so until that is say and just we were forced to say mo bi anyi obi ama ne de bia obi a ba omra metena se na
de obetena se
do take car no mu no na on ne normal ne be pa
be no so de mo yesa no so de mo yesa ma hayen
you know obi ba so akwaje de esi we procedure commander say judge na nka ho hwe ndom dom de esi ho ko si say final determination of the case and I'm now we are lots of business no ubetini aka
can you pay for it
it is share a kwani a ye fa so solve such problems abra se si aso no or pe baby atobi anom a omuni baby
on
production facility anybody more anunti adwoada na chese wo say me bo anan ekọ ye fe ne se dwa so ekọ pe ho asem ka
wow
so no because these are the threat to drivers commercial drivers wonim near the bibi besi nika mu a na ye kokoto a ye CZ car ya che driver
affecting the jobs o my mu adwuma no cry o no ye limited cry
right into no
adakabre me we no in fact you go through a lot of distress abra abine J sa license ni free Ghana for companies mu na fofra ba esan twa me sunu mu kra ene say there were some clause in the IMF conditionalities preventing a buying from releasing those licenses back to between one and
now what was complained of Intiano said the IMF conditionality
NSSA yetimi ede bibi shem say Ghana ni bank and say a peneso say ebema obede no debenti IMF nesa development partners no
Britain Woods no
Sancroft no enye omani kan ko kiti na omo hwehwe sa o abribia they have their interest they want you to go omo ma relief kakra they want you to go and come back to them again na omatimi de ahyem se Ghana ha no ense se ye de license no ma Ghana fo no biem na abrofo no a omo enya kwan e de omo sika ba be re oman we mu abie banks akese no enkoso a omo banks ndi yeso e wo man we mu na omo nya capital flight omo fanfa so no nko emfa omo nkrofo mfi abrochire mra mo be ye adwuma wo man we mu medwe ho a ensisi so me de me believe say President Mahama ban we no se one IMF no entem etia tinton tan a ye benya ye independence back because sa or deal way e your dealer and say ye pene so
and almost say no de mai
e de no han akra no de ma obani na yetimi agege mentiase na che se obi che ba bi efa boa payo pa kwan so se Ghana fo a omo abobra apegyo mo humu ebie banks de ese se ye pe kwan bi aso ne yeku omo enwuma no efiri Ghana ha no mo na yema abrofo emom banks embama bebia Ghana edroi ko South Africa na ko he locally owned banks etwa ehia wo bebia na Ghana ha de Ghana ni bie bank de a yesi ondi mu so beti ma bie bank ese se egu no na yema bro ni mom bank embama be adwuma wa in all logic me entrance ye ema me ena nia nkrofo bebre eco true nia banks a yegu no ha market women ni ahoro ni ade nyina no e de ohaw ni oye ne bebre beto Ghana for so ekwanimu ama ankrankra bosiana na edwadifo dodo na no e de omo ho eto so ukọ adeso baby say campaign time na ma na ka kire yen say enam say bank eni ho nti no eye individual loans ya na omoje na insihu a ejina ho no inflation ko ya kodu 54%. Nti insihu a na ejina ho no enye insihu keto a nti saa bosia no omoto ne din ohyew bede obosia ene na mma no e de omo ho akoto so because banks nketenkete a ebetimi ewo omo mpotemu ebeboa ma omanya bosia de ahye omo adwumam no abandada no andwene omo ho eno je ogu saa banks ni nyina ema dodo na akọ ahohiahia emu thank God say John Mahama nyankopon de ne nkwa ache na ene wasen baba be president ye nyina ye bompa ye se senior or promise those license holders no obechimi aye ne sa pepe you should take pride in the fact say obeba Ghana na banks kese the biggest bank in Ghana na Ghana Nidia. We should take heritage in that. The banks obo bank to bank Ghana for ye ko international and you say ye reverse no e car ye boy ye di goods our banks we no debate HSA and kasasika na ye betimi assign the share banks no mu ama banks na gina brane. So we were at a crossroad say ye disika be shem abua banks na mo magina mo nan so na Ghana for mo ye adwuma wo mu akoso ye adwuma na ankrankra pep bosian so etimi enya bosian no e wo banks no ho ana say ye disika no be shem ni ye gu banks no abandada ne say ono de obeso di shem no gu banks no yo mu nyina free business mu ene ma dodo na no e call through sa o how ne oye ne no enti achia enso embuyi
achia na enso muyi
right nia omo aye nyina ne bebia ababa be duro no
enti back to the studios na ye ne divine enti yan hwe two other issues are honom or say bill to rename airport sparks controversy. So it was first an Accra airport, changed to Kotika airport, and now bill to change it back to Accra airport. And then a minority force say, and as a Finyo Mark can say, it's a betrayal of the Votarians. And also, single-digit inflation, lower interest rate, city gains against the dollar, lower petroleum products, citizens still appear not to appreciate and strike actions in the offing. Divine.
Yo, that's it. Unim, did kind about the renaming of the Kutuka International Airport. I think say that discussion nankasa no, and to the extent say ye change it in nankasa na long overdue. Because for me, I think say okay say the name change in nankasa no, about up sa it reached a certain height bia former president Atamils, John Evans Atamils time, it came up. It was petitioned to change the name to the original, And now, some common die. But I think say right now I coming to the fore. Meka say me subscribe to the decision by the government led by the transport ministry. Say you better rename ye international airport back to the original name na ebe no and save impo no ebe to media to a former president, first president of this country, Kwame Nkrumah. Obi be bisa say adenti na me kasa. Let's put the discussion in its right historical perspective. Ye ni sa no an komo no ye beti ase ne ehu di nti a esese ehia say ye ni sa because international airport is a gateway gateway a ye to mean to nasi because obi a visitor bi owura mu bia the name no a obeti bia no person won understand why that name ye nyina ye tu kwan a o ko e bia Kenya e si o Kenyatta como Jomo Kenyatta airport o person o hu say why na Jomo Kenyatta na e airport na to no when you try to explain the entire edit na to a won say ade app say eye kutoka. I've heard people say the name kutoka no any ne ho nsem nyina no is part of our history. If it is in our history there, history no encapsulated the good, the bad and the ugly. All aspects nyina na see give attention to. And I agree. Say if it's part of our history. Say bibi say si enti say keeping our history mu a yen keeping no kwan ben so I think say for our main airport to be named after Kutoka no I find it a bit concerning because Adakabre she ora Kutoka na ye kana asem no u bisa say den na ba ye panti ene the international airport de to no a enye say ebia auto blocks ana say or manage ana so initiative ene construct ye ana ye bibi ni nyina ne say eho ene call ye ene ko bond tuo ene owu ye in 1967
April 67
17th April 1967 ene bond tuo no wu ho no na say ampala say ka history na ya dey say you remember and the nipa no bond tuo na dey no mum ne fa on no ho no mum to no mum ne so samolata ene mosisi ebo a obumom na kase yesi ye pese ye panto ye history mu ne enkai dia ene omo yes accountaku operation guitar boy no omo necessary ye dey ho mum to omo if you want it to be part of our history again we say it's part of our history whether it is bad or not enye history nyama bi esibia any record one as ye obi din to so otherwise Satai is part of our history. Dr. Beckley on kind history home it is ye nemu niama dia ene ka Dr. Beckley ni Atai mu no sanke bepe baby wa ebeka so as part of our history one time there was a notorious armed robber bi opie yo say na ke de in sa home prisons there say they are to Atai benye sa na ye obia ne babia ye place no Kotoka de no yet to me fa a no infant because when the 1966 coup happened I overthrow Kwame Nkrumah no it was in 1969 and on Nicole coup collaborators decided say we should honor him na yempe baby emfa ma na yemfa nto ne so na yesi international airport no yemfa ni din ento so na ubisa say sa coup na omo ye na nkasa na context adwin omo de overthrow Kwame Nkrumah and until today you want to make it look like Kotoka is a hero no let's place it in context almost say Kwame Nkrumah aye one party state in 1964 omubuafu inti na no inti no mo revolt ya organizing that coup against Kwame Nkrumah. But that narrative who the to your history anymore, it will not fly because, for instance, in our history today, I may know say there are entrenched clauses. What history anymore? Your in processes are you have to go through to amend those entrenched clauses. And and even me know say one of the things our laws and as your constitution will not grant or allow you any say obeka a word be to say over your coup and I say obe coup d'etat against the government. But ube to me say President John Dramani Mahama obeko tetem untumbraye unimdentia. Because if indeed we intend to say President John Dramani Mahama obeko tetem process wo honu mu a be fire constitution nakasa I prescribe say do this and do referendum, and at the end of the day, so when we go through that process and then we make President John Dramani eko tetem, it doesn't mean say President John Dramani Mahama no dey want babesi o. It is the will of the masses. That is what happened in 1964. In 1964, Kwame Nkrumah himself, even in 1962, when they wanted to make him a live president or parliament, no, he declined. And then in 1964, processing the National House, processing a referendum. The results is there. More than 230,000 people voted. And almost say we want one party state because at the time, now oyene bomb to tour near kumuni nyamaniama. Near processing we are now the whole country's decision are binding on the president. Now you want to make it look like a Kwame Nkrumah as one person or no a yes I'm in Ghana. So a one party state. Meanwhile, a court through process. Intinu say obia
we engage in a referendum.
Yes, we engage in a referendum. Intinu nipona wabetu a constitutionally elected government. Egu na say ebebo na baso sa. Enye airport e de beto ne so. Hwe
enye onu nkwa so na etore airport.
No, enye onu nkwa. Yes. Now ni bia me ya ne say you know, if they say because of coup, any niamanti, I remember a hero, sir. Kotoka Nankasa, okay, Major General Charles Bawa.
Bawa at the Flagstaff
House. At the Flagstaff House, or your army chief. On the Yeren ma, Ada, and a Kotoka Koshia or Mukoto Musu or Honum. And not see or renounce ne allegiance to Kwame Nkrumah. Now, my join here, you know. Just by default, say, Papa, we are admitting in front of Nigeria and by your body, ni trim, pew. Any of the kuno.
Bawa, Ufrizuarungu.
Yes.
Near Bogatanga.
The first northern person who just have opportunity to serve in the military at that high level. Onupo ya kaino. See money din. So if
Brigadier General
Bawa, and a friend say Bawa Barracks, El Tamale, Ediakotono. How come say even such a person that you cool in that manner? So you see, say there is a deliberate attempt to say your person elevate some people be about others. Near make you look say omuna or Ghana no omuna bibi esebia no esese de to omo ana bibi when Rollins etias and I remember ni money donation the donation nya the call UDS. They try to name UDS
$50,000.
Yes, so ye name UDS after him. Also no, or decline here. When Anadu came, he started embarking on renaming spray. And when you look at some of the people or the status or the Tutunya Masunwa, it is just by mere fact say they are either family people or their major role on play as some boy my party in power. Otherwise, if you put it in national
alignment with the center of the right. Just say seecated them. Yeah.
Yes, but you seecated them.
I appear me.
It is said to me in 5 UDS and 2 Rollins are seecated them. Pan the role power establishment of UDS will move past say on the the tone.
Not necessarily the role in it. I say seecated them. First Republic, wants to play a role.
But you see, unim says here, kasa ansem we nyina. Sometimes ade amimi who say we are unfair and they say even our constitutionalism, our democracy, and even your entire history as a country, there's one person those omu propounding certain names, omu mention certain names, they refuse to mention power grant. If you are being fair, the establishment of UGCC, the history of the establishment of UGCC, the main contributor, supporter, and financier of that political platform, and I say, was it not power grant?
I said power grant, Uko University of Mines, background in that. Who do Takra this is here?
About
on approach from Vijaya Oba Ubenya Bichabe Road, I should think Ubenya Kwame Nkrumah and now Wabenya Independence Avenue straight on to Market Circle a background. Then between Anaje through to Kwesimintim Edward Ekufuadu Road. So no Ekufuadu Road. No,
but you see, it hasn't been recognized enough.
Okay, have not been recognized enough.
Wouldn't say do Dankwa Circle here. And then they were right here. So say a grant. You see the contribution we hear, you know, is if you don't belong to a certain tribe and I say only microphobia, they person relegate you. They relegate you to the background. And I think say problematic. Me at best, you know, if we want to name Bibi after Kotoka, ebia en cemetery bi. Oh, na ebia en ka say because you born it you near the cemetery no at all.
In fact, Kotoka was the highest rank army general, not a lieutenant general. And the lieutenant general at the time, no, Wakobi.
But say even ko primary school, Bema camp, primary school GHS. Yede atono Kotoka primary and GHS. But some person mo honor no more see a bonituo ekunu because of counter coup by Samuel Atadia. And ebia military cemetery bi ni ape ni yede ni akokoso Kotoka cemetery ni so all ye ni duty as a military person no wu ye na say but airport what here. No, I salute President John Dramani Mahama for that decision. So ombe rename no. Omo fa Kwame Nkrumah din.
But being a lieutenant general, he did very well for the Ghana army. Saddam Farouk Usman of the New Patriotic Party. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Atabil.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Akujuma ba.
When they offer and the Friday.
His Eminence.
National Chief Imam.
What to say?
Yami adum ne ho ye.
Yo.
Ye bompa say adum de adum be so na o man nkwane bi nka ho. Sana wa ma ye som no aye lucrative no na of course nkita som no ma ye sa because National Chief Imam or I don't know how to.
It's an icon.
Me hudi am fa ma no. O ye nyina me nka ni sa.
Nyame ama na ho de.
Ono de bia no. Every Friday bia you have to visit him at least. O sheki no cry nshira.
Obi ba be bona ma ne se nkom hye bi se obewu. No so na obewu ajabe. I just say, who be share them common no say same PM no who dada.
Who dada no dey dey oba be kan no tie.
And also who be wu ajabe te ko.
Enye dey oba be kan no tie.
Right, it is Adam.
Yeah.
Bill to change the Accra airport. Ask Paki controversy. Your thoughts?
Me this airport din cause it's Sano. And can me them say me I side with upon Nkrumah. Whatever they want to do, they should do. We have a lot of bills to pass in Parliament. Ye hu ani nyina ampass 24-hour economy yentumi ampass LGBTQ yentumi ampass bills abebre gu ho a say ye pass ende koko ekuafo omudom fu magalamsefo ni nyina yentumi ampass airport ye sane din a na ekomadi ye Ghana ha na etu etwa ye sisa din na bill ende ye pass bill ende na ye Accra International Airport na Ghana fo ye ho atoye ana de ye komu a ende obi pon adwuma onya ka amfa nko ni fi you see I side with upon Nkrumah eye omumfama no Accra International Airport enye hwe Kotoka wa anya hwe ya magana amfa so bia ni ne so na obi ka say investment into there amasa ye dey hold Rollins Park at Rollins investment into obi bra etrimu odin no ho ofa so ni trimu odin
answer na soldier dey do lieutenant general
investment into obi
na mine pa
na wo tire ne se be odu rank odu ye ne de wa ye bi wa som o man no kompa so cool
military wise
since that regime you know one year cool that regime one year cool abam and no year cool you know ko si sen na e di Kotoka to no o si enfa no ko to cemetery abranti ho fe na o tiri mo de now I make say me Accra International Airport will not change anything confuse on my parliament who bills to pass a 24-hour economy the right na all the core campaign am win elections possible also to me pass
your topic in amount or single digit inflation, lower interest rates, city gains against the dollar, petroleum products at lower prices. Ni nyina no say you intimi ntuetu ya ho aka ama strike be looms somewhere else necessary can be UTAG can be we can be cocoa pharmacy in three omoka adien pa na sa lower index no eyamahin
Ova medawasi maminchia yetifo na minchia yahwefo mo hwe wotintankase yi so ya sambo manim bi omom no mo judge sa omoti abonten ya kasa omoti a omo judge mayen asemo ga ni nampo kan se me ka hwe because on kasa wa judge dada see single digit. You see, I always accuse the institutions omo checking those kind of friends and inflations near other way. No, me always I accuse them wrongly. You say 2025. Yes, sir. John Roman Mahama in His Excellency. Yes, sir. In pay. It's about 30 minutes. No dollar about 8 cedis. 30 minutes. I don't know. So back I said me monitor. So me who here. 30 minutes. Let's anti-coy. So I don't know. Omo mushe chiria. They do things to suit the government. They don't do things to suit the economy because South Bibia ba form. Now still, among for demonstrations, among for strike, it's like it's a very single digit, no. Yekodi, and I GDP na ko heading. I didn't know fine. Ni na boaw. Ni na boaw. Se ni na boaw a affect ya form na ye say enjoy no. In this very case no. Ya form na inflation about form, fuel about form, dollar is stable. Yeah, they should still last time I was here and I said something like I said about way by I said sika no nyesika kan musika ho but I said wo form no ho ntom because and me hwe na Randy Abe ni PRO say den officer no TV so na aha me YouTube ha bre ye no ontumi yi ano because nipa na oniti no your interview no ono onim koko efomu nsem sene wo nti wo kan bia no ma question ground ontumi yi ano wa bre sa me sere sa no hu hwe nka because who didn't grow for Ika? Randy
Abe say, you cocoa, no boy, a day at the amount 1 year at 20. I told one say you cocoa the board into a month, and no nama in his country.
Of another bresso, cocoa will be a pajam, and be a do a nasty cocoa for it. Your cocoa at ton force, a kind of pharmacy, Tiomoka, your talk at Tiomoka, and this our buyer, no, and you by force said to Mona must be an eye to nay cocoa form because of campaigning some power open tin throughout tragedy to me. Who did trade to me as an ebano? Because time I able man, ye according to the system. Ye nkwase e bibi mo bi wan hen han no. De ebe to me ayam o man for no wan hen han mo ne ye. Ba mo beji to me nti musi na be ko 6,000 na be ko say na be fine. Se mo ko na ho no e mo ntumi nto a. Mo ni o mo nka na bo ne nsambra fom na mo ntumi nto musika mom. Simple. Because without that you can't pay them. And I want me hijack your musika so. Koko for kwani aye ne fu atwa ne koko ende bebre na do munsa se magalamse fo ususi stop galamse ndi nipa na hu se koko no me dokra mfaso bi ambaso me di 1 year 1.5 years 2 years be do koko e ba na metina me bra na me pam na wu wi a me de ma aban nya sika ma me 6 months 4 months 5 months na stem sika ko dikam me nya sika mfa ntua me school fees me nya se koko kwa fo mo promise mo se omo to ba mo no mo wi ni am ba mo ma mo do me go universities na ade na how far I go see sen up to nende yanti bibia mfa ho. A lot is happening in the system. I say and this for mumuna koye rhetorics kasa bibia bibilia me because say that Accra International Airport here di buy no kra na say the brobro nyama so ntina di buy because a lot is happening in the system. Omo say omo fa bibia mbe cross na e be fa bibi topic bibia be
munya rhetorics and omo dey and Kokobo tells us they are working on solutions to pay farmers. Atonam
ADAKABRI me that's very me say adaje or to cancel no home because divine Eddie can church and the point is that and yeah it doesn't put any food on anybody's table. A new regime into the future and Eshemra upon Kroma or President Mahama decision way pepe anybody I will try so be extend it this thing to me say any NDC form pike before Samoa. Sasem no yemfanya asem. Mate say afenyo markings ke kasansem ni bi. Eno yemfanya asem because yen party o me cruel towards the airways. Tidal waves e o kita. I see ye tin sem wo ka far like before so nobody can try and extend this to cover ethnic for any ethnic advantage. Now me bragasa inflation as someone in na ye kan o see inflation yendi. Person humanity as say inflation ye deeper. Abra inflation ekoko do 54% no. The Sagana for life so bian can or deals are of firm near of Femua. On Wankasa might have his own testimony. Sam Reno, they be na me koto iron rods. Na me pay a certain tons, I don't remember. Na me pay a certain tons. But scan ne cram no. Na intimate tons nina. Intimate I think about 70%. And I'm sure so me expect cash be inti by wia mesen aba. Me bana me chia balance na ma peke quantities na me penny nyina ko. Me kofie ko ya me ten kakra. Me ba enwumre no. Na prices of iron rods no asen asesa.
Wadi ano se me
kwa. Me di ano awia me chiaka. Se me kwa ba de top up na ba be ka ma fa me quantities e free ho no. Me ba enwumre no. Na price of iron rods ano pana o ma me one price no awia no na ne bo no asen asesa.
Asu chiaka na one for ade anko.
For me say you see I say oh pretend. Now she can see na anso. She can see na.
Ba be kakura say ni pa ka.
Oh your warehouse.
So the was here can the one how this can be do the pack ko. Repem sika brebe.
Hey, na nche me or the back credit. Up and
credit. The way I work chess or the me tuya ka fatu ma me na me kwa.
Teni aba na me the balance.
Teni aba na me the balance. No aba no ka say do tuya no. The never 10.
Ya me tuya and I had to top up. Otherwise on tom obiam. Because the fear so they say or tom house our old price now or kofa for a problem man. Prices were changing in minutes. Abrana na kufu ado wo. Na se wo kota sa sika foforo na me de ka ho eto iron rods no. Sa sika na yedi. It when inflation ever from one ever since John Dramani Mahama aban we take over 13 months ni every month you who inflation is a drop it. Untimi so challenge it because the prices of goods and services no ye ni kwadwo nya akudwam ene ye wo nso dwam ye nyina ye kodwa ba akum. Mufia de so na yeton anwa yellow gallon no yeton no 700 800 Ghana cedis and 500 cedis reversal of prices e bin see in fact campaign 2024 MPP for nsem o mo ka kire yan say enti se John Mahama ba niema bo ebeba form ana ensi da ban bi ani wo beba niema bo ebeba form. These were some of the challenge MPP for them NDC. John Mahama be president no. Are we not seeing a reversal of prices? A more bag, 50 kilos. Here for a more bag, 50 kilos. MPP time. Now a ton, a bit 550, 600. And they been 280. They been 300 Ghana cedis. And your reversal of prices. Petrol, nebo, baby, a jina. Abrana, MPP Abanwe, a waso, 2024 December. Now 1 liter is 17 cedis. What is the price of petrol today? And 9.99. John Mahama ba eden hye papa ba ma niema bo ba fom. The inflation ba fom a.
E die de kasatenten ya.
Inflation ba fom a.
Asa yentimi ntu akuafo kai.
Ofa. Asem a ye ka no e tiawa. Medican abobo niema bebre so ye ka inflation asem. E say inflation no a movie from 54% MPP4 no mukuram abedu 3.8.
Edi jawa na edi aso ya ejuma no.
Enu ti na me bo me kwasa for gene say
ye bi di ni free o.
Udi jam me tu wana mo ni bi anka
ye bi di ni free o nti ye mane mra enye 54 na wo ye nja ma wo.
Ama ye hu a reversal of prices. Reversal of prices of goods and services. E bi si da wo. Enti say ye hu sa niema papa we nyina President Mahama ya. E say ye nkran because the inflation is stable. I was single digits more. Ninsusan so bebre no ene say eboa manipa e plane eboa ma edwadifo edidwa because or didwa ene na se ni dwade no cry importations ni ade a onye too much worried because onim say sika odidwa no onfan ko fafo from bra embeton ensan ko embra no he doesn't worry about price change because nya ade prices bo e ba besesan what no London pay onim obeto be a 50 be a £1 crampo obetime achia about Ghana be 2 years as I go back to London na beer price and £1
the rate at which prices
increase is very slow and on say your bomb pie say ye bedru and nyame adom John Mahama banwe e de awura sa rem num for the first time he scored 3.8%. Chireme ade bako a John Mahama buy ne bo ashutu one commodity item. You won't get one. It's inflation debate, nobody can debate it. Nobody else can debate it. MPP4. But this issue of strike, let's say Oliver asked for more. Then people will always ask for more. It has nothing to do with inflation. Abra inflation could do 54%. People were still demanding. In fact, it was logical for people to demand for more. Now, by no stifle, I don't wanna President Mama, me strike as a me now come as a me say will be as well strike.
Oh, Kwalebu, medical technicians won't take.
Seriously, but these things, minor, they will definitely handle it. I know interest there should be doubts about inflation and what single digit. So that 3.8% we Nisus and so be say a policy rate above from into henche bossing a bono bank near the idea. In Sihua, a year Chamanecano, they say above for my reasonable. This has any exchange, no.
But I didn't as a government expenditure to get 3 and been a camway.
Oh, I mean, okay, local government, grandpa. A last quarter pay and of last year, put no munchai. I just said this quarter, almost barbecue and
almost barbecue, yeah,
almost barbecue. But you see, first, no, Nanka, common fund to me come bear 4 quarters. But John Mahama buy, common fund I come. The last one I can is that of last quarter.
My
this quarter this year.
Dubai, positive indexes, notwithstanding, Gogwa Bisu Kakra, Okwekuya for can be, teacher for can raise, nurse for can raise. Yeah, Danny.
Me that say, the media, me bonito, on economy in some year again. Adano binu before I ever to abano. When him say Ghanaians were quite jittery about options are not available because the impression was created say MPP are buying the S2 government na nado are buying no. Oma managing yama yi pa na sen kenyo mumpa na nkanya ma beji nsem so be kaya okay say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia be kan say enye say MPP are buying na wo so a na nka dollar no na nka wo 30 cedis iti omumpo no mo ye no maso mu amana do 17 and almost see 4 per liter no kra no all this management economic management policies omo to akwemu na ama enyama ayi okay. So me my mind no ya ba beto aba ni nyina no na Ghana for can say me yenhwe ni anya mistake o yenhwe ni anya mistake o e ko wi achi na Ghana for say what can come and you say you best say aban de be sinsi and you say aban yes say aban wi ye ne so no kra ni nyame anim ni ye nka say mana ato afisoro e ma ye hu nyina aton ma bibia e koso se ne a ye hwehwe. But you see, let's not also play the legendary ostrich and pretend say what Nyama Ekoso no any real. The truth is that we are experiencing real changes, and they are positive changes. Make Kwakosi say everything we are seeing now no any artificial. Sure. I remember in November 2022, unim say ni eto fuel 22 cedis per liter. Na bisa won say auto fuel 22 cedis per liter. Na send the same fuel no e wo 10 cedis a. Usi den the 10 cedi and then compare and no ade and say 22 cedis no better than 10 cedi. E real figures. Who say no value no e wo ho no. Again, they told us say time wa cedi was gaining momentum. I appreciate it against foreign currencies, you know. Yet we are told that artificial and not sustainable. We were even told say it's as a result of the fact say finance minister won't share contractors worker. We were even also told say because of the US-China trade war on Ukraine, the demand for the dollar no from krama is here no is still denied stable. Kujo upon kruma ebe kachire say the BOG is pumping dollars into the economy to sustain the city and when the city now is stable. Suddenly, turn around. I've done say no, my predictions in na sustainable and fano. Almost is a idea. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni MPP for and na nshisheye eno mudi gu akwemu and all of a sudden no nyama nyina ekoso jojo. When you do that and you tell us that you are being disrespectful to us as Ghanaians, like you are not being truthful, you are being disingenuous. because all kind of cry sabi you prediasa say the adiasha won san wan tumi anya acknowledge said there were challenges because former president Nana Addo cry be catch say adwuma no emu ayedi wan tumi anya na de odi na chi beba no ono na obeye ni yie it no say if he admitted said na challenges so honum na de on anim ba be fix it ya mombo bia fence san in common no yet say proper changes no ye reflect e your pocket mu ye hwe madam fu ekraka mienu akada the BOG figures na honum na yet akada the BOG figures na honum na yet ye no enya dey artificial, it is real figures that we are experiencing, we are seeing. Well, is it not better? If you compare to what the other government, you know, ejaye and the year experiences here, it's better. I mean, who can tell me say, me to eduane ebia 10 cedis, and ra. Na se ma band near the mami 9 cedi 50 pesos ah. O see 50 pesos per insignificant it me can say no. If say value no any the same na baako eso chen baako a our acknowledge the oma no value abaso because right now no increasing the purchasing power of the people because first nema na odi kokrom de koto say first recently an cement kra okwa 105 near yi and okwa say auto cement 10 bags na 1001 and that's auto the same 10 bags are 100 cedis kra so we say who 100 cedis enti no me de meka say de omo ye no me nye konongo kaya meka say enye maban na ewo but we want more. We want a bind this share and kasa begu akwemu but adakabra de hia me ne say yemfa policy we nyina nto nchen hwe Ghana for ya na ye we ku ye ho we are wicked to ourselves, we are wicked people obi otie me waka mu tie me ofie wo tell me hwe enen nansa me wo fa ase efra me ka che me say ope etuo nkola etuo a toy gun and na me se meto bia ma no but na me ti traffic mu drive but at that time na me kita sika bia ewo me ho iti mi hu say bi enam traffic mu na me bisa branch and say na toy gun no oton ne sen because na pese mi hu ni bo na next time me mo ame ho no say 120 into ka 120 no and no say me ma ne sen na me so me bo me sheda bo a at least obeko because I know say sadan me niska o ka 120 na me say me ma ne 30 cedis o say fabre
baba nsai
30 cedis o say fabre na tu nimpa say adia no even 30 cedis ni kura no me suspect kura say wasanso bumi afa because one cash o say fabre na me say tu nim so beti agi 30 na aka 120 no o say say kwasia enja kromu bai aso o ka che me no say
o trick
me hwe and it hurts me say yanka say hu sa hwe Newtown baby aye to ye mu champion emu you nim say daytime mo ton papa wa ni mo nkola paboa mi ko bisa nkola paboa e wo e honum side baby almost 130 Ghana cedis the same in papa no man to mi bedu aslam down run about to unzo mo ton omo nyina pavement we nya condition ba ko de 70 cedis for the same in paboa and then here hu sa recently who say mami fo na e wo okan shi mokola no omo koye demonstration sa aban omo yi pro omo bayire any omo bro de air pro nti aban and coming to their rescue unim de ntia omo to ade animu omo nti so na mi bisa o in economics no you see when the demand is high the price no na demand no high na supply ni lower price no ebe kosoro and I say supply ni more than the demand the price no be go from more supply more than our demand ti so na de nkwa o se won ti so and na wo bu yen na we ye de be say politicians for no role on me play but I think say yen Ghana for na kasa yen kasa ye bu yen ho dodo ye bu yen ho hweta ma see the start say geni value almost your old stock egu warehouse ye clear 6 months ye and ye de be clear 6 months atwam yes you yen trying by December because enya real artificial antino by December de cd nda so gire bebre gina na still akwa nkofon person betete omni amaso iti wan na ye ne nyonko wa ha wan na ebu ne nyonko wan na ewia ne nyonko iti ye nyina no yen hweko ye be paso because I don't know how inflation all of a sudden has become say it is hinged on or tied to your age See, inflation in other countries, no, and yes, and yes, sir, unyi ya udi 40 years, no, by force, sa dia no value, no, she see a crash, cost. Couldn't say in the case of Ghana, no, a fibia do not December do pay, not Yamanin cost or say a faithful for a fee, a fee for a benty, no, one, no, not the buffalo for Atos because when ye interested in Yaman or Tony Born, so any.
Ma, Usman Mremwe. Usman. The way what you saying.
Over and I make me brother said she knew how become Quebecois mom. There's no more mammy. Until the unbecan say abani ye. But Coco Querina and Isigamba and Simon himself abaning ye. Inflation now come from Nami point my minyaka and come fee. First La Paz had to Kaswa say 5 cities or 6 cities. And that is 20 cities, 25 cities. Sanon Fuka do coffee. Transportation are a problem. A lot of institutions problems. Very soon, you never saw my more. Some say, Casa Mamono ye. The American Casa red on Casa Pan, Casa Bebre. Or say for bidding to cemetery. So, and yes, she. But Ganes, and that's Obia. Obia and the rank of do a military more and then
Lieutenant General.
Get now to military fence airport to moi. Na mo pe kwa mbi so hu hia. Edi hu sesa Ghana for comedium. 27-29% I have to electricity bill mu enko form water bill 19% enko form ene nka nti sa airport no nko ano mo ansisa na ye den nti ye the endis we beka bia na yate endis ni bi o ye endis ni obeka kire say bibi problem wo obeka say problem ni ho. There's no way metina ha ka say mama buy onye shi no. Fuel was something 14 point something per liter by December. Dollar was 14.7 December ni nyina aba form e da nyame ase. So what next? The less privileged person is not enjoying what is happening. The entities in your form no entono ono GDP onim inflation onim efane sen. It is here now no te ona she affecting na onya mfaso bia free ho no. The American bia ono beti na topem say ampani abra yi ken inflation ye ni mabo akro. So your wo so achichide o ye nim. Nso ya say inflation abanti ne maba form. So me te hey I don't work na 2024 me turn 8 cities 50 pesos and there 12 cities. Document turn 5 cities and 3 cities and 4 cities. Yes, bro. Nanado mreso na 1,002 and about 500. Ukta 400 ko bi ato. So document still 5 cities go ake to watch first no.
Join me conversation, join me. Na condemn me.
Nti about former what are we doing say benya effect e wo dwen na
effect no ka che Ghana for join me na ye Ghana for kasa so mo ye sa no obu yen
e na me ka say yen see me Ghana ni excuse me say party into me say Ghana koye be ha me no Ghana koye me so be me de nti Ghana be koye be me then what is the government also doing because during the same problem was there. So what are we doing to address that problem? Say omo turn man wo form no ntine man so mo wo form uko to ebron 500 Ghana cedis previously not on 1,000 the same size of dokuno born 5 cedis this is what 5 cedis 7 cedis any 10 cedis near bono 5 cedis 7 cedis any 10 cedis near dokuno how possible
oh te
oh me tizongo me dey tire oh anyway say e depend be to dokuno ko suna ko enti
obi asma osu
enti me ka tire say depend be to dokuno and say
osu zongo dokuno eti
na zongo ne ko ne to anya wo ko ni wache ne to zongo u pa dokuno ko nkran me na ko di dokuno na wo so di dokuno
o final comment
Mini manu see no minda yen committee chairman as Joe Wise na minda general secretary JFK wayade ye maintain JFK ye fa no nko ye young guy wayade sana elections no ko ye no na be people were expecting nyina ensi na minda IGP ase you were no ayade ama elections no ma very serene e mu ada ho ye wie ye bibia ye boko ye nti bibia nti ye beda MPP mpanifo sana ye ko no ye penisa polling station, electoral area, constituency, region and national. Obi anko na election boko say ya. Die hia ne say osono no ebedi hene. Na de ba omi atena so na de na kogi 2028. Kasa na NDC for candidate. O de mo nkan. Omunu no mo ho they should take themselves and laugh. Na nyame aduma 2028. Ebe hia wo akansi ni mu. Ya he ne ebe yo.
Right. Finally eto nam.
ADAKABRI ni abidi ne say President Mahama e manamu onko so anye ya oye no. Oje Ghana no na Ghana yare na heat kesi na she Ghana mu high inflation yare boni ene waso ano ama Ghana drama Ghana nya lower inflation empire boni say ebetima sustain this high inflation way over a long period.
What does inflation do for you?
what it does for me is say sa oye ne na me go through a me to ade anopa by wia na ne bo asen asesa na ye je fofora ka ho sa ne ye free won ma me purchasing power e kosoro
e be twa the speed no
se milk bo e be kosoro in 3 months e be kosoro from 10 cities to 15 cities at a high inflation economy. Now a low inflation economy.
But conditional sales and for the year, you ma. The new call, let's say ideal milk. Because I will to 1 dozen on tom because for the ideal milk need ton at the from.
I think that's how money must be corrected. And on a yen I can watch them. If I be so or the refi commodity needing one shop or coin and my mini back say we 10. No, ye back send me 8. No, say another not the same thing. Back 10, back 8. No, it's way old stock and away new stock. It's old stock. No, yeah, now you say or turn at a prevailing price today. It's well a market, you know. But long short, President Mahama etimia bre inflation anwa ase ama
okay.
Some respite about system.
Yo, emphasize them fama etonam. Na emphasize that Emma Usman. Faruku Sadam aseda koma divine and chroma na sabri we say no yebeko fie efie na ye ko no ulakoko Michael or the yebeko jojo usuneti neat 100.9 FM